off the crossbar. Goal! And it's trying to flick off the proceed. Switch to left field and down for a base hit.
Hunterdon Central is going to win the state finals here tonight.
Mark it on the board. Touchdown, Red Devils. On the deflection. On the deflection. Hunterdon Central.
Union's going to come in here cocky. They're going to think that, you know, they have great kids on their team. Respect to them. They're a great team, great program, but I think that we have a better program and I think we have better coaching. They're not going to expect anything, and then we're going to come in and we're going to blow the house down. So I have belief in our teammates. I have belief in our coaches.
It's been pretty crazy. You know, 4 years has gone by really quick, and just yesterday I felt like I was a little freshman playing for the freshman team, watching the varsity guys, you know, warm up for their senior night. But, you know, I'm excited. I've been playing for 4 years, and I'm excited for the senior night with these guys. It's gonna be a great night.
There's a lot of emotion, you know, a lot of time spent on this field. Might be the last time I play here, so a lot of emotion.
I would say that I'm just motivated, and it's kind of unbelievable, you know, that 3 years have just flown by. 4 years. It's kind of been a blur, but I'm just extremely motivated, a little bit with a chip on my shoulder, a little angry, but I'm ready to go. I just want to play.
A lot of things that I've noticed about these guys is that we're a better team every week. We play, obviously we schedule the best teams that we can play, and I think even though the score hasn't been our way, you know, a lot of times we're a better team every week. The defense has been playing really well. The offense is improving every week. So I just think in order to flip the switch for these guys, they just got to realize that, you know, time goes quick, and you know, you just got to execute every week, and hopefully the scoreboard goes in your favor.
I think it's the culmination of a lot of years of hard work. You know, we're celebrating our seniors. A lot of guys that have been around here for a while. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had the best year in terms of wins or losses, but I think we, as a senior class, have built a really good culture, and we hope that that'll leave a lasting impact for the years to come.
I'm just going to remember just, you know, being able to just go through hardship. I'm just going to look back to this time. I'm like, if I was able to do this, I'm able to do that too. So it's just the idea of just getting through like things, becoming better from them as well. Just becoming a better person, better whatever I'm doing in that time. So this just has such a huge impact on your life for anybody that comes through this program. It's unbelievable.
Just the relationships, you know. I love these guys. It's a great culture, great locker room, you know. Just the relationships, definitely.
Definitely the relationships I have with a lot of the coaches and a lot of the guys, you know. I've been playing with these guys for a really long time, and especially the underclassmen, you know, looking up to the seniors and especially the coaches. I've been around these guys for a really long time, and it's been awesome. I mean, I wouldn't trade my 4 years here for anything. So I'm going to remember definitely the relationships, definitely the amount of fun I've had on the field. But, you know, just looking forward to the rest of my life and excited.
And welcome to Stewart Field. Tonight we would like to honor the senior members of our football, cheerleader, and dance teams. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our seniors for their hard work and dedication to our program. We hope that you will look back and remember all of the memories and relationships you have built over the last 4 years. We would also like to thank all the parents for the sacrifices you have made in order for your sons and daughters to be part of our program. We congratulate you and wish you all the best on your future endeavors. First off, we'd like to congratulate our senior football players, starting with number 61, Adam Abalata. Adam is escorted by his parents, Sam and Hala Abalata, and grandmother Shadia Kandil.
As soon as they circle.
Once again, that was senior number 61, Adam Avalada. Next Red Devil senior is number 4, Owen Bill. Owen is escorted by his parents, Tom and Amy Bill. Once again, that was number 4, senior Owen Bill. Next Red Devil senior up, number 26, Vincent Brito. Vincent is escorted by his mother, Victoria Brito, and brother, Mateo.
Stay closer to midfield. Or maybe she told him to stop. We don't need to go that far down. We only have 10 kids.
Nobody's racing down there to tell him.
And once again, that was number 26, Vincent Brito. Next senior Red Devil up, number 53, Amir Elmen Shawi. Parents, he's escorted by his parents, Yasser and Sabrina Elmen Shawi, and sister Amali. Once again, that was senior number 53, Amir Elmen Shawi. Next Red Devil senior up is number 6, Aaron Importico. Aaron is escorted by his parents, Bill and Carol Importico, and sister Sadie. Once again, that was senior number 6, Aaron Importico. Next Red Devil up, number 63, Jason Kent. Jason is escorted by his parents, Robert and Wendy Kent. Once again, that was senior number 63, Jason Kent. Next up, number 76, senior Matthew Krylik. Matthew is escorted by his parents, Butch and Janine Krylik, and sister Johanna. Once again, that was number 76, Matthew Krylik. Next Red Devil senior up is number 9, Frankie Lenteni. Frankie is escorted by his parents, Frank and Joanna Lenteni, sister Emma, and grandparents, Gary and Peggy Wilbur. Once again, that was senior number 9, Frankie Lenteni. Next Red Devil up, number 52, Nicholas Lewis. Nicholas is escorted by his parents, Christopher and Rita Lewis. Once again, that was senior number 52, Nicholas Lewis. Next Red Devil seniors, number 48, Julio Marsiglia. Julio is escorted by his parents, Heriberto and Marcia Marsiglia. Once again, that was number 48, Julio Marsiglia. Next Red Devil up, number 18, Noah Miller. Noah is escorted by his parents, Chris and Annie Miller. Once again, that was number 18, Noah Miller. Next Red Devil up, number 79, Isaiah Robinson. Isaiah is escorted by his parents, his mother, Vanessa Hartz, father, Rob Robinson, step-parents, Charles Ebanks and Emily Robinson, brothers, Sorrell, Elijah, and Ray Robinson, and Noah Lurch. Once again, that was senior number 79, Isaiah Robinson. Next Red Devil up, number 12, Gavin Stager. Gavin is escorted by his parents, Michael and Melissa Stager. Once again, that was number 12, Gavin Stager. And finally, rounding out the Red Devil senior football players, number 51, Kendall Williams II. Kendall is escorted by his father, Kendall Williams. Once again, that was number 51, Kendall Williams II. And that rounds out the football players, seniors for 2021-2022. Congratulations, men. Next up are your cheerleaders. First up is Allie Bacigalupo. Allie is escorted by her mom, Tricia Bacigalupo. Once again, that's Allie Bacigalupo. Next Red Devil cheerleader is Zoe Bloom. Zoe Blum is escorted by her parents, Michelle and Adam Blum, and sister Phoebe. Once again, that was senior Zoe Blum. Next Red Devil cheerleader is Skylar Brandt. Skylar is escorted by her parents Bill and Renee Brandt and her younger sister Caden. Her older sister Taylor is sending love from Penn State. Once again, that was Skylar Brandt. Next Red Devil cheerleader is Carrie Capone. Carrie is escorted by her parents Maria and Michael Capone and her sister Lucia Capone. Once again, that was senior Carrie Capone. Next Red Devil up is Haley Ferreira. Haley Ferreira is being escorted by her parents Mark and Dawn Ferreira. Once again, that was senior Haley Ferrara. Next Red Devil cheerleader up is Abigail Giordano. Abigail is escorted by her parents Anthony and Lauren Giordano, her brother AJ, and sister Julia. Once again, that was senior Abigail Giordano. Next Red Devil cheerleader up is Cassidy Giuliano. Cassidy is escorted by her parents, Jim and Beth Giuliano. Once again, that was your senior Cassidy Giuliano. Next Red Devil up, Katie Kleiner. Katie is escorted by her mom, Denise Kleiner. Once again, that was senior Katie Kleiner. Next Red Devil cheerleader, Ketsia Obi. Ketsia is escorted by her parents, Ike and Sandra Obi, and her brother, Damon. Once again, that was senior Ketsia Obi. Next Red Devil cheerleader up is Jordan Pazarki. Jordan is escorted by her parents Gretchen and Ed Pazarki. Once again, that was senior Jordan Pazaricki. Next Red Devil cheerleader is Tessa Scottez. Tessa Scott is escorted by Marie Bogroff. Once again, that was senior Tessa Scott. And rounding out the cheerleaders for a class of 2021-2022 is Emily Shemansky. Emily is escorted by her parents, Joe and Christine Shemansky. And next up is your Hunterdon Central dance team. First up is Alexandra Charles. Alexandra is escorted by Kim Charles, Ira Ray, Walter Charles, Neela Charles, and Ashley Charles. Once again, that was senior Alexandra Charles. Next dance team member, Alyssa Donetz. Alyssa Donetz is escorted by Pamela, Tony, and Julia Donetz. Once again, that was senior Alyssa Donetz. Next Red Devil dance team member is Mackenzie Lamata. Mackenzie is escorted by Mike Lamata, Debbie Lamata, and Megan Lamata. Once again, that was senior Mackenzie Lamata. Next Red Devil up is Amanda Lippert. Amanda is escorted by Robert and Barbara Lippert. Once again, that was Amanda Lippert. Next Red Devil dance team member up is Sydney Puskas. Sydney is escorted by her parents, Tom and Dawn Puskas. Once again, that was senior Sydney Puskas. And our final Hunterdon Central dance team member graduating is Emma Reby. Emma is escorted by her parents, Tom and Lori Reby. We'd like to congratulate our seniors at Hunterdon Central, football, cheerleaders, and dance team. Congratulations to you all. Best to you in the future. Also to the seniors of Union High. Congratulations to you all. Good luck to you.
And we are live from Stewart Field on the campus of Hunterdon Central High School here in Flemington, New Jersey. Senior night for the Red Devils as they get ready to take on the Farmers of Union High School. It's windy, it is rainy, it is damp, as these two teams look to close out the regular season. Alongside Joe Whalen, I'm Jimmy Sullivan. Happy to have you along with us here tonight. And Joe, senior night here at Hunterdon Central. Send-off for 17 seniors on this football team. I imagine an emotional night for those players.
Yeah, this is definitely a night seniors are going to remember for the rest of their lives, whether they go on to play football in college or whether they go on to just be an average student, a regular guy, and go into the working world. This is a night they'll never forget for the rest of their lives. I remember my senior night like it was yesterday, so this is definitely a special night for the Hunterdon Central seniors.
17 of them, as we said, to be exact. Now, Hunterdon Central comes in at 1-7. Last week, lost 42-7 to Edison. They've also lost their head coach for tonight, Casey Ransone, suspended after he was ejected from last week's game. Tom Bill will take over the coaching for the Red Devils. On the other side for Union, this is a talented squad. Davidson Igbenosin, over 20 offers. You'll see him at wide receiver, defensive back, some tight end and running back as well. But Joe, just a really talented team that we're going to see tonight in Union coming in here.
Yeah, Union's a very well-coached football program. They always have been. They always field a good team, and this year they have the guys to back up the way they're coached. They have great athletes at all positions. They always have great athletes, and this year, especially with Davison Igbenosin, four-star recruit, huge recruit out of New Jersey, so definitely going to be an exciting night for Union. Let's see what Central does to try and slow him down and slow down this high-powered offense.
Final game of the regular season, but first, our national anthem.
These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can help promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated but subject the violator to ejection and may result in penalties being assessed against your team. Each player and spectator alike is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this competition at a high level of good sportsmanship. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remember to remove your hats as we honor America and those who protect it with the playing of our national anthem by our award-winning Hunterdon Central marching Red Devils.
National anthem performed tonight by the Hunterdon Central Marching Band. And we're just about ready to get started here at Stewart Field. We told you last week Hunterdon Central fell to 1-7, a 42-7 loss at the hands of Edison. Hunterdon Central enters on a 3-game losing streak at the hands of Edison, East Brunswick, and Elizabeth. On the other side for Union, they lost their season opener against Millville 31-28, but then 7 straight wins for them. They have outscored their last two opponents, North Brunswick and Watchung Hills, by a score of 84-7. So, matchup kind of tough for Hunterdon Central tonight, but you imagine there is one equalizer, and as crazy as it sounds, it might just be the weather with how much these teams might want to run the football.
Yeah, I think Hunterdon Central definitely has a high-powered run game. I think Julio Marsiglia has really stepped up this season, producing great runs. He's an old-school type of runner. He's going to one cut and he's going. Whenever he sees daylight, he's just going to take it. He's going to take off. So I think this actually will play better into Hunterdon Central's hands with Julio Marsiglia taking a lot of the carries tonight. And that may slow down Union a little bit because not very many games get played in the rain like this, but Union does have a very good running the football team offense. They are very talented running the ball, but this may actually help Hunterdon Central. Also, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a lot of fumbles, a lot of botched snaps. The ball's going to be wet. They're going to be heavy. It's going to be tough for both teams to control the ball.
And we'll see if they can do just that. We've talked a lot about the weather, so let's go into detail about it a little bit more. Temperature's about 50 degrees here in Flemington. Rain is falling. Wind is blowing at about 20 miles an hour. Every once in a while you'll get a big gust, so that could affect the kicking game for both teams as well. And it'll be an interesting night here for the Red Devils, looking to finish out their season with a win. And Union, they have already clinched the Big Central and their place in the New Jersey State playoffs, but nonetheless, I imagine pride on the line, not just for them, but also for Hunterdon Central as well. Central is in red. Union is in their road white uniforms. This game was initially slated to kick off at 7 p.m., but due to the deteriorating weather over the course of the night, they decided to move the game up to 6. And so that's why we're kicking it off now as opposed to about an hour or so from now. Hunterdon Central will kick it off to start. And we'll see the Union offense on the other side of this Brian Collodi kickoff.
Now, I think on this kickoff, we are most definitely going to see a low ground ball squib kick from Brian Collodi. I don't think he's going to even try and put it up in the air, let these athletes for Union get under the ball and try and set up a return. I think he's probably just going to kick it at a second line guy. Just get the ball down, let his guys go down and make a play. No point in trying to put the ball up right now with this weather. It's just a better play for them, for Hunterdon Central, to just kick it low, keep it on the ground.
Rain blowing sideways. If you like bad weather, tonight is for you as the ball falls off the tee. And I imagine that's probably not the last time we're going to see that tonight. Ball's in the air. It is a high short kick, as you said, Joe. Fielded by one of the upmen at the 38-yard line, so good field position to start for Union. Their quarterback, Jaden Stewart, he's only had to throw it 83 times this year. It's a run-heavy offense, but a very good one at that. Stewart, the anchor of this offense, 11 touchdowns through the air, 7 on the ground. He has run it for nearly 500 yards. It's a Union offense that features 2 running backs who have over 500 yards, and Stewart rapidly approaching that here tonight. Start the night with a give to Ashawn Harris. Team's second leading rusher bounces it to the outside. He's got a first down and more into Central territory. A big gain to start the evening, taken down by Cole Gray.
Now, that was actually a great job by the Hunterdon Central defense, keeping him behind the line. Good push by Kendall Williams, the defensive end on that side. Great job keeping him contained, trying to bottle him up. But good job by Union kind of scrambling the offensive line, got down the line, kept blocking. They didn't give up on before they heard the whistle, which is a great job, and it was just a great carry, cutting back and just making something out of nothing on that play.
Harris, talented running back. 4 touchdowns on the ground this year. 630 yards now total after that run. This time it's Davison Igbenosin in the backfield. He gets the carry, runs through the middle, has a nice gain, and keeps on pushing the pile. Igbenosin, he of 20-plus collegiate offers. Tennessee, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Cincinnati, Iowa, Boston College, just to name a few. He's up to the 40. He gained 7 on first down. Igbenosin being recruited as a defensive back, and we'll see him featured in that spot against the Hunterdon Central offense tonight as well, but this Union team likes to use him all over the board. Second down and 3. Stewart's going to throw it. The lefty has a man off the hands, incomplete. A little bit too tall for Igbenosin. And it'll be third down and 3.
Yeah, that was just a very high throw. Igmanosin is listed at 6'2", 6'3", so he is a big target out there for I'm sorry, I forgot the quarterback's name. Jaden Stewart. He's a big target for him, so I'm surprised to see a high throw like that early, but definitely something with the weather. That ball is going to be heavy, so he's going to think he needs to put more zip on it, and right now, actually, that could have been a big play for Hunterdon Central with the ball tipped up like that. That is nothing the Union Farmers want to see, a ball popped up in the air with the Hunterdon Central defensive backs in the area.
So Stewart's first ball sails on him, and there's a fumbled snap on the ground, and it belongs to Central. They get off the field with a takeaway. Connor Lancaster recovered the ball as there was some kind of botched exchange at the line of scrimmage.
Once again, the weather, the elements are going to play a huge part in tonight, and right there, the center must not have been able to get a good grip on the ball. Union runs a shotgun offense, so we are not going to see the ball under center, so I wouldn't be shocked if we see a lot of botched snaps from Union and also from Hunterdon Central. They like to run the ball out of shotgun as well.
So Frankie Lenteni, his final game here at Hunterdon Central, lines up in the pistol. And to his fellow senior Julio Marsiglia in a short gain. Got a yard, maybe two. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Marsiglia scored the only touchdown for Central last week in that game against Edison. He scored 4 touchdowns this year, closing in on 400 rushing yards for the season. And he'll get it again, and he's stacked up one more time. Tries to surge forward. Was able to get another yard out of that, but Quamir Brown was the first one there on the stop.
Yeah, we almost saw another botched snap there. Ball a little low. Great job by Frankie Lentini, catching the ball low and getting the handoff off. So we could have seen a broken play, but very good job adjusting to that snap and getting the handoff off. I think we're going to see a lot of Julio Marsiglia tonight. They're going to try and keep the ball on the ground.
This rain's been coming down at this level for probably about an hour now, and it seems to have really changed the field conditions out there. They're down in 8. Lenteni out. He's got Gray, and that's a first down. Cole Gray across midfield, and Hunterdon Central keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, great play call from Hunterdon Central. 2 run plays in a row. Opens up the options with the play-action pass. It let Cole Gray slip out into a flat. Frankie Lentini, check down route, nice and easy. Nice pitch and catch, and good for a Hunterdon Central first down.
Gain of 9 to move the sticks. This will be Marsiglia up the middle again, and just not a lot of room. Does well to gain 1 running around the right side. Considering the conditions, a solid crowd here tonight at Stewart Field. This is senior night, and the rain continuing to fall, but a good number of spectators, parents have made it out here tonight. 2nd and 9, Marsiglia again, stacked up again, and that'll be a loss.
This Union front 7 is doing a very good job plugging up holes, not letting the Hunterdon Central offensive line, who has been progressing very well this season, they have been getting better and better, more confident every single game. They are not letting them get a push, and they're opening up the holes for the linebackers to come in and make a play on Julio Marsiglia.
They've given it to Marsiglia 4 times in the first 5 plays. Joe, you said they'd be doing that, and sure enough they have. Lenteni toward the sideline has a man, and it should be enough for a first down. That's Owen Bill. Leading receiver in the Big Central gets to the line to gain first down.
Great ball by Frankie Lentini, hitting the open man, seeing a window with Owen Bill. Great job finding a soft spot in the zone there and just being able to come back to the ball, make a secure catch, fall down for the first down.
Bill now up to 764 yards on the year, and somebody jumped on that defensive line for Union. Looked like Zach Minon out off the edge. And so a free 5 yards for the Red Devils.
Right now, I'm very impressed with the way Hunterdon Central's been moving the ball, running the ball, and then a play-action pass. Once again, that pass right there was a play-action pass. I think we're going to see a lot of it. And I've noticed Frankie Lentini does a great job rolling out with the ball. He's able to hit targets on the move.
Marsiglia Bounces out, gets inside the 30, another first down. Tough running by Julio Marsiglia to get 5.
Fighting through contact like that, guy on his back carried him for another 3 yards, got the first down. Very good run from Julio Marsiglia on that play.
They actually got 6 on that play, but it's a first down at the 29. Call his number again. And this time he's stacked up. Looked like he got back to the line of scrimmage, but no further as 2 defenders wrapped him up.
I am such a fan of the way Julio Marsiglia runs the ball. He plays old school football. He loves to just, once he gets the ball, I think anyone in his way, he's going to do everything in his power to try and run someone over. And just as a former offensive lineman for Hunterdon Central, you love when a running back is not afraid of contact and just wants to run through people. And I love the way Julio Marsiglia runs the ball.
Classic one-cut running back, hits the hole hard. Tough runner is Marsiglia. Lenteni will keep it. And just not a lot of room. Lenteni lost a yard as he's pushed back to the 31. It'll be 3rd and long. About halfway through this first quarter, no score. Union turned it over on their first possession, a fumbled snap. And Central looking to take advantage. Need to get to the 20 of Union to keep the drive alive. And some movement. And this looks like a false start.
That is something Hunterdon Central cannot do on a 3rd and long situation. That just makes it 3rd and longer. And right now, Hunterdon Central kind of has found themselves in no man's land to where it's too close to punt, way too far for a field goal. So Hunterdon Central needs to at least try and gain some of that yardage back, give themselves a more manageable 4th down if they decide to go for it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, it looked like a lot of the line moved and the center didn't quite have it snapped. I'm not sure if that has to do with the wet ball or some miscommunication, but
yeah, it looked like a little bit of a delayed snap there from the center, which, I mean, it happens sometimes. Sometimes the communication isn't the best, especially in a game like this with the elements.
3rd and 16. Lenteni hits Bill down inside the 30. Check that, that's Cole Gray. It will be 4th down. And it looks like the Red Devils offense is going to stay on the field.
Yeah, 2 targets so far to Cole Gray, which is more than we've seen him. Last week he only had 1 catch for 25 yards, which was a great play by him. One-handed catch, just reached out and snagged it. I mean, looks like Hunterdon Central is going to go more and more to him this week with such a horrible weather game. He's got reliable hands. He's a big target for Frankie Lenteni to just throw the ball. And he's kind of a guy, you just throw the ball in his general vicinity, he's most likely going to come down with it.
Gray, a junior, he will be back next year. Lenteni out of the gun. Gonna heave it toward the sideline. It's up for grabs and picked off. Down around the 10-yard line, back the other way it'll go. It was Omar Ibrahim making the pick.
Yeah, just a great job by Ibrahim. Kind of undercut the route a little bit, played more on the inside, forced Lenteni to try and go over him, and with the rain coming down, wind in his face, that's a hard throw, especially with the wet football. It's going to be a little bit heavier than usual. That's a hard throw to force someone to throw the ball over you. So great job by him, sticking with his man right there and just undercutting the route, just receiving a beautiful interception for him, just right to him, hit him right in the chest.
For Ibrahim, the 2nd interception for him on the year, and you know, you have to say, even though it's an interception, actually not a terrible outcome for Central, given that it was 4th down, and it would have been at around the 30-yard line, but instead, this one marked back inside the 10 at the 8.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of like a throwing punt for Hunterdon Central there.
This will be a run with Igbenosin cutting back. You see his speed and size as he gets up to about the 15.
Right there, once again, the Hunterdon Central defensive line is doing a good job on the initial push. They're getting the initial push, but They're having a hard time getting off blocks and being able to actually wrap up the running back in the backfield.
Gain of 7 on first down for Igbenosin. 6'3", 190-pound senior. They find a lot of ways to get him the ball. But this time it's a Sean Harris in the backfield alongside Stewart. And it'll be Harris on the carry. Harris with a lane. Down across the 25, up to the 28. It's a first down. It's a gain of 13, and a Central player is down behind the play.
Looks like Isaiah Robinson is down on the field. He is a pivotal part to this Hunterdon Central defensive line. He's kind of the cornerstone at nose tackle. He's a big body, eats up blocks all the time, so this would be a huge loss for Hunterdon Central if he can't come back.
Robinson came into tonight 17 tackles on the year. Couldn't tell exactly what happened to him behind the play.
Yeah, it looked like him and one of the Union offensive linemen were kind of getting into it, and a little bit of a late shove, but whistle hadn't been blown. Kind of a pointless block from the Union kid, and ended up with a player hurt.
Joey Valentino made that stop on Sean Harris. As Robinson gets himself up. And that's good to see.
Yeah, great to see him walking off on his own power. Wonder what he hurt on that play. Can't really tell by the way he's walking. Looks like something with his legs.
Robinson, a senior. It's back to the sideline, and I imagine they'll work on him. He's still got his helmet in hand. He wants to come back in. There's a gain of 14 on that last run by Harris. And this Union offense will try to get some momentum going with 3 minutes to go here in the first. Stewart drops another snap on the ground once more. He picks it up. He's going to bounce outside. And this is Igbenosin who came up with the ball, and he's tackled out around the 25.
Great play by Hunterdon Central, keeping him bottled up, not letting him get the edge, because Igbenosin, he obviously has the speed and athleticism of a high-caliber Division I prospect. Great job, Hunterdon Central players rallying to the ball, chasing him down, forcing him out of bounds for a huge loss. That was a great job by the Hunterdon Central defense, but once again, the elements are playing a pivotal part. That was a low snap, came down real low, so good job picking up the ball and trying to scramble with it, but once again, this Hunterdon Central defense is going to have to try and capitalize on every play that happens like that.
That forces them into second and long. Igbenosin did well just to get that much on the play. This time it's Stewart rolling it out. Doesn't find anybody, he's sacked. Knocked down back at the 20 by Connor Lancaster.
Connor Lancaster came flying up on that play. Great job by him chasing down Stewart. Great, he's just all over the field. You'll never see a play where Connor Lancaster is not involved on the play. He seems like he's involved in every single tackle. So great job by him getting into the backfield and chasing down Stewart, get the sack.
Yeah, if you ever want to find where the ball is on the field at any given time, just find number 40 in red.
Exactly.
And I think you'll find it pretty quick. Lancaster, 27 tackles on the year entering tonight for the junior linebacker. Rain and the wind continuing to crank. And we've got whistles on the field and a timeout taken by Central. It's their first to the half. And Joe, I think we've seen both offenses have moved the ball tonight, but it's a matter of finishing drives, execution. And as we kind of thought going into this, the weather definitely coming into play so far tonight.
Yeah, the weather's definitely playing a factor, but once again, Hunterdon Central has had a hard time once they get within 30 yards of the end zone. They can move the ball up and down the field on any team. They do a great job of moving the ball. It's just finishing out drives. And right there, honestly, that's not a horrible takeaway for Hunterdon Central. With the interception, pinned them down, so it was basically a throwing punt for Hunterdon Central there. But Union Union's drive is kind of sputtering out, but on the first drive they moved the ball like it was nothing. So good to see the Hunterdon Central defense is starting to step up, starting to get comfortable, get themselves settled into this game, and I think that timeout was called. I don't think Hunterdon Central liked the personnel that they saw out wide for Union. They did not like the way they had it covered.
So Tom Bill and Hunterdon Central now down to 2 timeouts here in the first half. This will be 3rd down and 19. Fake the screen. They'll throw it to the running back. Not a lot there. And it'll be 4th down. So the Central defense gets a stop, as it was Harris making the catch on the screen for about 5.
Yeah, great job by Hunterdon Central fighting across the blocks of those big offensive linemen for Union, getting across the field, making the tackle, and stopping the screen, because that was set up. I think 1 or 2 blocks from those Union offensive linemen out in space could have been a big play for Union, but great job by the Hunterdon Central defense to stiffen up, not give up a big gain, and give up a 1st down.
Trevor Fish back to receive the punt. It'll be Ramsey LaFond to kick it away. Low kick, but a good one. It sends Fish back. This will roll down inside the 25. A very good kick. 51 yards after the roll. And Hunterdon Central takes over deep in their own territory with 21 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Hunterdon Central looked like they were going after a block there. 2 guys actually got through. It looked like Lancaster and Brito were the 2 that broke through and almost got there, but great job by the Union punter to get that kickoff, and actually a wonderful punt. 51 yards is a great punt. Able to flip the field position, not give Hunterdon Central the ball at midfield, which I kind of thought would have happened with the way the rain's coming down with the wind in his face.
So the Red Devils take over. Wind seems to have subsided for the moment just a bit. Worst of this storm coming through a little bit later. Again, if you're just joining us, this game moved up an hour to avoid the worst effects of the rain. This will be Michael Carbo getting the run up the middle. And he got maybe a yard. And that should be the last play of the first quarter. After a quarter of play, no score here at a rain-soaked Stewart Field on senior night for Hunterdon Central. The team slipped the field. Alongside Joe Whalen, I'm Jimmy Sullivan. Happy you could join us here on HCTV. And Joe, weather coming into play. Seen a lot of run game for Hunterdon Central, but have to be impressed with their offense. They've moved the ball pretty well. Julio Marsiglio with some hard running. They've gotten 1st downs when they've needed to. They've been able to move the ball. Now it's just a matter of finishing off drives.
Yeah, now it's just a matter of just punching the ball in, exactly as you said it. I think Hunterdon Central needs to go back to more. Play action pass has been something that's been open for them. Within the first drive, they ran it 3 times, 3 play action passes. 2 of them worked out very well, got big gains, big 1st downs. And I think in the red zone, Hunterdon Central teams kind of think they're just going to try and run the ball the entire time. I think that opens up a lane in the pass game with a play-action pass. Frankie Lentini, if he can get the ball there to any spot on the field he wants to. So if I was the coaches, I would like to see more play-action pass once you get near the end zone. I think it's going to be open them, especially with the weather. Teams aren't going to be expecting a shot at the end zone, especially when you're 30 yards out.
It's 2nd down and 9 from their own 25. As Lentini leans back to throw, the Stony Brook commit. He's not going there to play football. He's going there to play lacrosse. Multi-talented athlete, Lentini. He'll keep this one on a throw. Looking deep. Throws short underneath, incomplete for Owen Bill. Good coverage on him that time. Kendall Bournes was in the area, as well as one of the defensive linemen, Janika Ozarumba, playing a little bracket coverage on Owen Bill.
Yeah, once again, but Owen Bill coming across the middle in motion. Play action pass, it was open, just hard throw, trying to fit it into such a tight window with 3 guys around Owen Bill, and I think we're going to see a lot of coverage, double coverage on Owen Bill, because he has been the main target for Frankie Lentini this year.
Leading receiver in the Big Central this season. Bill approaching 800 yards. Getting some looks from college programs. See where he winds up. That decision hasn't been made. 3rd and 9, Lenteni. Quick throw, Marsiglia out of the backfield with a first down and more. Julio Marsiglia into Union territory and inside the 40.
Wonderful play for Hunterdon Central. That was a great job. Great job by Julio Marsiglia, able to slip out of the backfield on a wheel route, get himself open, and right there, went right by the 4-star recruit, Davison Igbonosin. I'm sorry if I mispronounce his last name, but great job from Hunterdon Central. Great job by Julio Marsiglia, avoiding a tackle. Great job on that play.
They'll give 5 yards back here on a false start, but a gain of 37 yards. Marsiglia, 38 yards, I beg your pardon. Marsiglia taking it out of the backfield. Just left all alone defensively, and then he did the rest on a big run after the catch.
Yeah, and we very rarely see Julio Marsiglia out of the backfield. Generally, if they're running a pass play to the running back, we're going to see Michael Carbo. So, good changeup. I don't think Union was expecting Julio Marsiglia to run a wheel route and be that wide open.
That is just Marsiglia's 4th catch of the season. The output on that catch alone tripled his receiving yardage to this point in the season. Lenteni around the edge takes a big hit, loses the ball on the ground, looked to be recovered by Central. Lenteni got helicoptered. Now a late flag comes in after the play. I'll have to sort this out. Ball was recovered back at the 41 of Union. And we'll get the call.
And unsportsmanlike conduct on Union and Hunterdon Central.
So the old offsetting penalties. And it was after the play. There was a huddle and a scrum for the ball. So it should be 2nd down and long here. And they put the ball back where it was recovered, which will be at about the 40.
Now, I like the effort from Frankie Lenteni running through and trying to break contact, but you are the starting quarterback, and I think he could have saved himself getting hit right there and risking the fumble. Great job by Hunterdon Central to jump back on the ball and not lose it. But, I mean, you're watching your starting quarterback run like that. I think you'd rather see him slide and avoid contact completely and take the ball out of harm's way and reduce the risk of a fumble on that play.
He looked like John Elway in the Super Bowl on that one, kind of getting helicoptered around.
Yep.
By 3 different guys. It is a fumble recovered by Central. 2nd down and 13. Clean snap, throwing deep up the seam, picked off Igbonosin. Another takeaway, 2nd interception of the game for Lenteni. And it'll be Union ball back deep in their own territory.
Once again, Hunterdon Central moving the ball and just not capitalizing on a great chance for them. I mean, that's a tough throw. I mean, obviously you're trying to get the ball to one of your number 1 players on your team, Owen Bill, but I think Lenteni had a better chance hitting a check down route on that play rather than taking a deep shot like that, throwing it into double coverage, especially with the 4-star recruit, superstar of Union's team right there over the top, just giving over the top help on every corner, on every deep route so far.
2nd time Central has been in Union territory. 2nd time they failed to come away with points. This will be a run up the far side. Igbonosin right back out there. He's got a good gain and should have about enough for the first, and there's some action ahead of the play. Between one of the corners and one of the receivers, it was Will Sosa getting into it with one of the receivers for Union.
Yeah, so far this game has been a little bit chippy. I think we've seen some downfield blocking and some after-the-play blocking, kind of pointless blocks, but looks like today's going to be a hard-fought battle. I think Union's not used to being tied at this situation. They've been running up the score so much on everybody. They are not used to being in this situation, being in a close game in the 2nd quarter.
10 minutes to go, first half, and Joe, as you said, we are scoreless. This will be Harris up the middle, bounces outside. Boy, he's got a great burst. Gain of 5. Cole Gray made the stop.
Looks like there's a flag on the field again.
If you've noticed, the officials throwing pink flags tonight. That's for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's a personal foul of targeting against Central. That'll move it up 15 yards.
You know, actually, this is the second time I've seen a head-to-head contact penalty in high school football. I saw it last week for Edison. Edison did it to Hunterdon Central, led with their heads, gave Hunterdon Central 15 yards. But this is the second one I've ever seen called. It's very rarely called. You just really don't see it that much.
Difference down at this level. At the NCAA level, you get ejected for targeting. Here, no such punishment, although there is a 15-yard penalty, which places the ball at the 40. And more flags. So this will be movement on Union.
Yeah, false start. This is something that can completely derail a drive. Union's done a good job with their big play. Obviously they have a big play ability. We've seen it with their two running backs both being able to bounce the ball outside, making something out of completely nothing. Kind of Barry Sanders-esque, if you will, just being able to run around and just freestyle, try and make a play. But something like this is something that can completely get you off schedule, get you out of your scheme, try and force the ball downfield a little bit more for Union.
So now it's 1st and 15. We've seen a number of penalties so far tonight. Stewart will throw. Pumps once, twice, now he's going to run. This is what he does best. Jaden Stewart up the sideline. And out of bounds around the line to gain for a first down.
Great job by Stewart right there, just seeing nobody was open, not trying to force the ball downfield, not trying to force a throw, just taking what the defense was giving him. Great pocket by the offensive line, opening up a big space in the middle for him to run. Gave him a great running lane for him. So good to see for Union, to see their quarterbacks able to escape pressure, get himself out of a bad situation, and get a first down.
Got 16 yards on that scramble. Jaden Stewart. This is a Union offense that likes the big play in the passing game. Stewart averaging 13.5 yards per attempt. You imagine some of those big plays might be hampered tonight by the weather. Although the rain has subsided somewhat. Sweep around the edge. This is Matthew Nazir. And he gets about 4. Nazir, the second leading receiver on this team.
Great job there by Hunterdon Central's defense, not letting the jet sweep get outside. That was something that kind of killed them last week with against Edison. Edison ran the jet sweep fast, and they ran it often. They ran it a lot. So we saw a lot of jet sweep, and right there, good job Hunterdon Central limiting a gain, not letting him get outside completely, get him one-on-one with someone, give him a chance to make someone miss. Great job flowing to the ball and keeping him contained.
Nazir got 4. Second down and 6. And it'll be a run around the edge by Igmanosin. Going the wrong way, but now he's got some room down the sideline. Good run by Igmanosin, still on his feet. And let's see, did they mark him out?
Flag on the field, too. So this play might be coming back.
Might have been, there was some blocking around the edge, and one of the Hunterdon Central players was calling for a flag. And it is an illegal block in the back on Union. So another penalty that pushes them back and helps Hunterdon Central.
Yeah, it definitely helps Hunterdon Central. That was an unbelievable play by Igmanosin. Got himself out of they just tried to run a simple sweep to the left side. Good job by Hunterdon Central, keeping him contained, forcing him to bounce it back outside. And you just saw the freak athleticism, the great speed from him where he ran backwards 10 yards. And still was able to gain 20.
We've got more whistles. This time it's a timeout for Union. 7:39 to play, second quarter. No score here in Flemington. And I think this Hunterdon Central defense, all told, with some of the numbers this Union team has been putting up in recent games, they've scored 40 or more in each of the last 3. I think they have to be very happy with how they've played so far tonight.
Yeah, I think they have to be happy with the way this result has been going so far for them, because they have been limiting the big plays, and that play right there, Union kind of bailed them out with an illegal block in the back. But this has been a great showing so far of this Hunterdon Central defense not letting this game get out of hand quickly, because this is a very high-powered offense. As you said, the past 3 games over 40 points, which is absurd. That's an absurd amount of points to be scoring in 3 games, but great job by Hunterdon Central keeping this game tied 0-0. So good job by them stiffening up and not giving up plays and not giving up scores.
Did get a turnover early on, but since then they've been strong. Second down and 12. Igbenosin out of the Wildcat, runs it down the sideline, and he is gone. Touchdown, Union.
Kind of right on cue after we just had that, right after I made the comment about them limiting big plays right there. Just great play. Wildcat formation for Igbenosin. Just took it. He just, right there, he's just the fastest guy on the field. There's nobody else. Nobody was able to catch him at all. So great blocking by this Union offensive line, getting out in space, getting a hat on a hat. Offensive linemen against linebackers. If offensive linemen can get their hands on the linebackers, it's very hard for a linebacker to fight over the top and get off that block. So great job by the Union offensive line.
A 51-yard TD for Igbenosin, his 8th on the year. And the junior Ramsey LaFon comes on to try to tack on the extra point. Kick is up. It's a knuckler, and it's no good. And there's a flag down, as somebody went down behind the play for Union. So that kick no good. Might have been deflected.
Yeah, the Hunterdon Central defense did a great job getting through the shield, if you will, for the field goal unit, and good job getting through, getting a hand on that ball, and forcing a knuckleball kick to go wide left.
The officials conferring. LaFond entered tonight, 31 of 34 on extra points. So that's just his 4th miss. But I think you can excuse it on a night like tonight. The wind swirling, the ball difficult to snap, difficult to hold. And let's get the call. It's roughing the kicker on Central. So that leads to a decision with the ball now being placed inside the 2. Will they try to kick again, or will they bring the offense back out on the field and try to go for 2?
I think we're going to see this offense come back on the field and try and go for 2, and I don't think we're going to see another extra point attempt.
Yeah.
With the way this weather is. That kick just looked awkward, looked like an uncomfortable snap, looked like the ball was a little bit too heavy for the long snapper, a hard ball to get up, get held, and get the kick off. So I wouldn't be shocked if we never see the kicker try another extra point.
Is the offense on the field? A little fumble, Ruski to Harris for 2. A little trickeration, Stewart on the crafty handoff, and it's 8-0. So Union gets an extra 2 points out of that after missing the extra point. Still a 1-score game in favor of the Farmers.
Now I'm interested to see how Hunterdon Central comes back out onto the field. Half the quarter left. I think we're going to see a lot more ground game, but also the play action pass. It's open there for Hunterdon Central. The way Frankie Lentini's been able to throw the ball, not trying to force the ball downfield. If you just take what the defense is going to give you, take your check down routes, I think Hunterdon Central will have no problem moving the ball, getting a good drive together, and potentially being able to punch in a score and maybe try and tie this game back up, keep it within reach. They cannot let this Union offense smell blood, if you will. They're like sharks in the water. Once they get a lead, they're able to pile it on and on. If you're not able to respond, you have to respond quick, and you have to respond every single time they score.
3 men deep for Central. Unlikely any of them get it, as Ramsey LaFon lines up the kickoff. Trevor Fish, the deepest man for Central. But This will be a squib kick short to the right. We'll go back to Fish. And he's got some room to run along the sideline. He's out of bounds across the 20, just short of the 25, so that's where Hunterdon Central will take over. $7:23 to go, second quarter. 8-0 our score in favor of Union. It's a bit of a rivalry here in the Big Central. Union's won the last 2 matchups. You were on the team, Joe, last time Central won this game in 2017.
Yeah, we went right into Union, went to their home turf, and just ran the ball the entire game, and it ended up working out very well for us. And that was the last win for Hunterdon Central, so they're hoping to get a second one within the past 4 years.
That's got to be a great feeling for you as a lineman, isn't it?
Yeah, as an offensive lineman, when you're able to go into somebody's home turf and be able to push them around and just do whatever you want offensively, there's no better feeling in the world than running the ball 900 times in a game.
Might see 900 runs tonight the way things are going. Here's one more from Frankie Lenteni. He's stacked up in the backfield. All the way back at the 20. And there's more flags on the play. There was a man in motion, looked to be Trevor Fish. But now he's indicating that was a face mask. And that's what it is. So another Union penalty benefiting Central.
Yeah, Union is just kind of, they're hurting themselves with these penalties because these are all very avoidable penalties. Like a face mask, I guess, it happens from time to time, but not generally on a play like that because it was a gang tackle, so really nobody should be going high trying to hit someone like that. I think once you get them wrapped up, it's easy to bring them down. No need to try and grab a face mask or grab the helmet, take them down, like not a last-ditched effort, so.
Could that be something, too, where the defenders are struggling with trying to get grip, like on somebody's jersey with the rain and looking for anything they can grab, basically?
Yeah,
certainly find the face mask.
Sometimes when you're trying to make a tackle like that, you have nothing to grab, and you're just grabbing anything you can get your hands on, and sometimes that happens to be a face mask. And you just, whenever you do accidentally grab a face mask like that, you hope and pray that the referees didn't see you grab a face mask, and you hope you avoided giving the other team 15 yards.
Michael Carbo gains 7, gets the ball again, and this time, no such luck. Just back to the line of scrimmage for him as he gets stacked up by Christopher Ejekwu, among others. It'll be 3rd down and 4. A little less than 4. From the 41-yard line. Fake to Carbo. Lenteni under duress and taken down for a loss. Aaron McReynolds made the stop. Another flag is down. And Lenteni was a bit slow to get up.
We are seeing a lot of extracurriculars from both sides right now, right there on the far sideline. If you really paid close attention, a Hunterdon Central player was getting pushed around after the whistle. I'm surprised the referees did not step in earlier to try and stop that.
Well, let's see what the call is here. As Lenteni doesn't seem to quite have his wits about him here. It's a hold on Central. That'll be declined. I think the bigger concern for the rest of this game is the status of Lenteni. Appears to be okay as he heads to the sideline, but he was a bit slow to get up after taking that shot in the backfield. Back at the 31, where Lenteni was sacked, and there is an injured Farmer crouched down at his own 45-yard line. We'll try to figure out who this is. Full disclosure, is a bit hard to see numbers from here. And it is Igbenosin, the deep safety, and that is about the last thing they want to see.
He's a phenomenal player. Obviously, he's a highly regarded recruit with offers from essentially almost every school you could really think of. And this would be a huge loss for the Union Farmer program because he right now has seemed like he is their go-to guy on offense, but also their go-to guy on defense. They have him playing basically any position defensively. He's big enough to go inside and play linebackers. I mean, as listed at 6'3", 190 pounds, so he definitely has the size and frame to go in play at linebacker, but he's also been playing safety. Seems like he's walking off on his own power.
All right, well, that's good to see, and hopefully for his sake, for Union's sake, and frankly for the sake of about 25 college programs, he can get back out there. And we could see him tonight. He's already got his fingerprints all over this one. An interception and a touchdown so far tonight as he walks off towards the sideline. And obviously his status will be of much interest going forward tonight.
The way they are spraying water on the field looks like he might have puked.
Well, we'll hope he's okay. They're kind of gathered around him near the bench area right now.
Definitely trying to make sure he's okay because he is a huge part for this football team.
Yeah, well, they're going to need him for the playoffs if they want to go win a state title. They've already locked up the Big Central. That's been decided. But this being somewhat of the rivalry that it is, obviously I think Union's players, especially their seniors, of which there are a number, would have wanted to play in this game. But now I think the concern for Igbinosun and his health, whatever it is maybe ailing him, didn't seem to be any obvious injury necessarily to him. They're going to get the field back in shape. Really, it's around the 45-yard line of Union is where the issue occurred on the part of Igbinosun. But there is an official stoppage. It'll be 4th and long, and you imagine Central would probably have to punt in that situation. Owen Bill, the punter on this team. His father, Tom Bill, is the acting coach tonight.
Yeah, and they're bringing a bucket out onto the field, so I don't really know what they're going to do about this, but
I have to say, with the rain, the field has actually held up quite well. I know it's unrelated to what's going on here, but the field seems to be holding up okay. There aren't really a lot of shiny, wet spots, and you kind of expect that on artificial turf, but still, with how much rain has fallen so far tonight, certainly good to see the field holding up as well as it has so far.
Yeah, I'm actually genuinely surprised how little puddles we've seen so far on the turf because, yeah, as you said, artificial turf sometimes does hold water a little bit more than grass would, and you're going to have those puddle areas. And so far we haven't seen too many people trying to make cuts and slipping. We haven't seen anything like that. So I guess good on the Hunterdon Central turf. Good job whoever installed the field or the turf at Stewart Field. No slips, no falls, no anything so far. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. It's not natural grass, so if it was, you'd be seeing a very different picture. Let's just put it that way. There's been a lot of mud, a lot of divots in the turf, but not seeing that tonight.
Yeah, good old mud bowl.
You ever play in one of these when you were here? Any really bad weather games that stuck out to you?
Yeah, actually, my first ever start as a varsity football player against Bridgewater, my junior year of high school in 2017. For the entirety of the second quarter, it downpoured. It was a monsoon, but then after that, it was 15 minutes of pouring rain, and then after that, it was just done. It was just a beautiful night for the rest of the night. So, couple games where it drizzled, couple games where it rained, but I think that might have been the worst weather game was my junior year when it monsooned for about 15, 20 minutes, and then after that, it was A-okay. No problems after that.
I imagine this would probably surpass that experience.
Oh, yeah, the way the rain's been falling, it's been a steady rainfall the entire night, and with the wind howling as well, I mean, definitely pretty cold if you're not on the field, just kind of in the stands or in the on the sideline, it's definitely freezing, but luckily for us, we're in the press box.
And you're wearing short sleeves. I was very surprised, but you're a lineman at heart, so I guess maybe I shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, I always did that. Whatever the weather was, I always wore short sleeves. But I did bring a rain jacket for me for when I'm outside. But right now, yeah, definitely in short sleeves.
Yeah, I'm not. So that's just a full disclosure there. They are working on the field, and they continue to do so as the players try to keep themselves in the flow of the game. 6:04 to go, second quarter. 8-0 is our score, with Union on top of Central.
Yeah, this is actually one of the toughest things to do if there's a stoppage in play. Also in my junior year, there was a power outage in the stadium, so all the lights turned off, everything turned off, so we had a 25-minute break, and I think the toughest part about it was just keeping yourself loose, keeping yourself without getting your muscles tight, especially with the colder air, the rain coming down. Got to try and keep moving around, keep yourself moving a little bit, keep the blood flowing, because once you get stiff, it's going to be hard to re-warm up and get yourself back to game speed and get yourself back into playing and get yourself ready to play.
I imagine this is almost kind of like one of those weather delays that you have where you have to go back to the locker room because there was, a lightning strike or something, and you come back out there and you kind of have to warm yourself back up and get back into the rhythm of the game. I can't imagine that would be especially easy.
No, definitely not. Those are definitely hard to try and warm yourself back up, especially after you had the adrenaline flowing from when the game first started. You get everything, you get yourself ready to go, and then a delay, something that stops the game for 20, 30 minutes, trying to keep yourself amped up, locked in, if you will, keep your mind right for the game. Definitely hard to do that, but Hunterdon Central players look like they're trying to move around, keep themselves loose, not try and get their muscles tight as the field's getting taken care of.
Yeah, they're bringing out the old John Deere cart now. We'll see exactly what this is for. Now, I must attest, I'm not an expert on lawn maintenance or field maintenance in this case. So not sure exactly what needs to be worked on here. No obvious issues that we could see from the broadcast booth, but nonetheless, I think whatever's going on over there on the field, you definitely want to take care of, especially with the weather being what it is tonight, as the rain and the wind just intensified briefly as the cart came out.
Yeah, you never want something that's going to affect the field to be just out there not taken care of. So good job by the Hunterdon Central maintenance crew coming out, taking care of whatever issues going on. Looks like they're dumping water on whatever they are, trying to get the field cleaned back up, get it back into playing shape. I wouldn't be shocked if we see a little bit more turf pellets put down, try and get the area all settled out. So
now, see, these are the real MVPs right here. Now, obviously, this situation you don't want to see, but at least we get to shout out these people, the people who take care of the field, the maintenance people, the janitors in a more everyday setting at Hunterdon Central High School. These people are so important to the day-to-day operations over here, and really everywhere else too.
Yeah, they do the behind-the-scenes work, and they never get any credit. I mean, during the summer I work for the Flemington School District as a maintenance man, and those guys are some of the hardest working guys you'll ever meet. They work hard, they do everything behind the scenes. It's praiseless work, if you will. They never get praised, never get the credit of all the good work they're doing, and especially good on these guys getting the field taken care of, doing everything. So glad we could spotlight a couple key members to the Hunterdon Central family here and taking care of the field.
Yeah, this whole thing about it being a praiseless job, that changes tonight. It was a two-man job. It's been taken care of, and we're getting ready to go back to play. Lackenzie Jules, the senior, back to receive the punt for Hunterdon Central, and it looks to be Decker McNally back to kick it away. We saw a 51-yard punt in this game, despite the weather conditions. Good snap. Pretty good kick. Jules lets it bounce. It's going to go behind him. He'll pick it up and try to run with it. Jules to the sideline and cuts it back out of bounds.
Great job there by the Hunterdon Central punt team, staying in their lanes, not letting Jules get the sideline. Good job forcing him back into Vincent Brito, who flew down the field like a madman, if you will, forcing Jules out of bounds, not letting him have a big gain.
So he's marked out at the 34-yard line. Brito playing in his final game for Hunterdon Central. 17 seniors on this Red Devils roster. They'll all be missed next year, including the top quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Good sign for Union. Davison Igmanosin back on the field and in the backfield. And it'll be Stewart keeping it and running around the edge. Jaden Stewart with a big gain and a first down. Got 15.
Went with the read option there from reading the defensive end. I'm surprised Stewart held on to the ball that long and kept running with Igbinosin, but he eventually pulled it in, took the ball up inside, and was able to just carry it in, get a good gain of 12 yards right there.
So it's a first down as they're knocking on the door of Central Territory. Chance to possibly take control of this game before half. This will be a give up the middle. And not a lot of room. Stacked up. It's a gain of about 3. It'll be second down and 7.
Good job there.
Man down. Igbinosin gets up a little bit slowly, but appears to be all right.
Good job there by Isaiah Robinson. Came back into the game after being injured earlier in the game. Came in, broke through on the opposite side of the defensive line, and was able to grab Igbinosin and hold him back, let his guys rally around and get him down for a short gain. Good job by them limiting a good play for Union.
Yeah, 6'3", 190 pounds of raw strength. Not easy to take down, and Isaiah Robinson completed the task. It's Ashawn Harris in the backfield this time. Harris on the delay. Room up the middle. Bursts forward, should have the first down. Gets down to the 40. Gain of 8. And they move the sticks.
Yeah, just a simple draw play. Kind of had Hunterdon Central fooled a little bit. You saw the linebackers and safeties drop back a little bit in coverage. So good play calling here on this drive so far for Union. Good draw play, just a simple play that worked very well for Union.
First and 10 from the 40. Another run up the middle. It's Harris again, and he gets about 3. Conditions deteriorating here at Stewart Field.
Yeah, the rain's really coming down now. If you just look at the lights a little bit,
Yeah.
the rain is...
It's what I've been doing all night. It's just you watch the rain come down, and I don't know how much heavier it is, but it now seems to be coming down sideways. It's coming towards us now.
Coming down at all directions, so definitely going to be impact for the centers, especially in quarterbacks. That center-quarterback exchange is going to be a little bit more difficult now.
Well, the ball may be at its wettest when it first starts coming down. This is Igbinosin up the middle, carrying a couple defenders, pushing forward, gets down close to first down yardage. We'll see where they spot it, and it looks like they are going to move the chains. Gain of 7, first down. Closing in on 3 minutes to go, first half. Hunterdon Central does receive the second half kickoff. It'll be Harris this time, up the middle with room. Ashawn Harris into the end zone for the touchdown.
Just a great play by this Union offensive line. Gave him a lane, so it was a good job opening up the middle. Once again, this Union offensive line has been doing a good job smothering up Hunterdon Central linebackers, Vincent Brito and Connor Lancaster, who are 2 strong points for this defense. 2 guys that have been flying around, always making a lot of tackles. Good job getting themselves out into space, getting a hat on a hat, and just keeping a lane open long enough for Harris to burst through. Very good run right there for Union.
5th TD of the year for Ashawn Harris. It goes 40 yards. And now it'll be Ramsey LaFon trying the extra point. His first one was no good, but they got a roughing the kicker. His second one is up. It is good. LaFon goes down again. But the kick goes through, and it's 15-0 Union. No penalty, even though LaFon hit the deck.
Yeah, it looked like he just tried to sell that one a little bit.
2 minutes for embellishment.
But this is going to be a big drive for this Hunterdon Central offense. Try and get this score back, make it a 1-score ball game where you can kind of – this is a 2-for-1 possession, if you will, where they're going to be receiving the ball to start the second half, so they could potentially get a score, get the score back to within 1, and then be able to set themselves up to either tie the game or potentially take the lead if you want to go for 2 twice.
LaFond will kick it away. Jamal Kuhn is the deep man for Central. LaFond got off a good kick. after the last Union touchdown. This time it's a shorter kick. It's going to bounce down, kicked around. Central does fall on it at the 25, but some anxious moments for the Red Devils as there was a little bit of miscommunication there and ultimately fielded by Julio Marsiglia.
Yeah, you saw the wedge get set up, and the kick was kind of directly to the wedge, the second line guys, and they seemed like they were getting set up, getting ready, thinking one of the men back deep was going to come up to make that catch, and unfortunately, nobody came up quick enough, so good job by Julio Marsiglia, able to jump on it, not let Union capitalize on a loose ball.
And now, as you said, Joe, big possession for Central. 2:47 to go, second quarter. Two-score ball game. Lenteni will give it to Marsiglia. He's got room around the edge, lowers the shoulder, gets about 4. Central's got 2 timeouts remaining. Rain getting a little harder here. Wind has briefly slowed down, but we're going to be talking about that for the rest of the night. Marsiglia again, wrapped up, thrown forward, got another 3, maybe 4 yards. It'll be third down and short. And that was a Jekwu on the tackle.
Good job falling forward there for Julio Marsiglia. Kind of thrown forward by a Jekwu on that play, so kind of hurt himself a little bit with that play, giving Julio Marsiglia an extra 1.5 yards.
Inside of 2 minutes to go. Lenteni going to throw for it. Far side, and one hopper incomplete in the direction of Owen Bill. May have been deflected as Lenteni was under pressure. And they're going to send on the punt unit. So 3 and out for Central. 1:53 on the clock. Decker McNally on the punt. Would you have thought about going for it here on a 4th and 2 given where the game is at?
I think this is kind of a tough situation to go for it because if you don't get this 2 yards, you're giving such a good offensive Union who has been moving the ball now. Their running game has started to pick up speed. You're giving an explosive run offense the ball within 40 yards of the end zone, especially with this little time. I think they would be trying to score right there, so I think this is probably the safest play for Hunterdon Central to try and pin them deep.
Real catch 22 for Tom Bill, trying to make this decision. McNally gets it away cleanly. Good kick, a high wobbler. Igbenosin will let it bounce, goes inside the 10. He runs back towards the ball. He's not going to touch it, and it's pinned deep in their own territory. Now he stands over the ball. Is it a fumble? Is it recovered by Central? What's the call? Central sideline saying it's their ball. They've got bodies there. It would be Central football if it's ruled a fumble.
Kind of a
huge call in this game.
Kind of a silly play there by Igbenosu right there, just going over the ball. I mean, this is one of those situations your coaches are yelling, poison, poison. Everybody on Union go away from the football. I am so surprised he would even go near the football, especially with the ball within the 5-yard line of Hunterdon Central's of the end zone.
Well, they're going to say he did not touch it. Zachary Gareem got the ball and the recovery, but it's not going to matter as they say it was downed at the 5 by Central.
That is just a pointless risk for Union to be taking. That's just a silly play. It's not a good move for them because one wrong bounce that very well could have bounced into him and it could have been Hunterdon Central's ball.
Also surprising to see him not necessarily field the ball in the air. That punt seemed like it was kind of in his wheelhouse and he just let it go. He's in the backfield now. Get the ball. Run up center. Knocked back. Not much there. Might have gotten a yard. But Igbenosin stacked up by a couple defenders.
Oh, we got a penalty on the field. Let's see what this call is.
Well, we've seen a number of those in the first half, especially after the play is over. If it's a penalty on Union, it's only going to push them back half the distance to the goal, which would be a couple of yards. And it is on Union.
And unsportsmanlike conduct, that is something Union cannot do. I mean, as you said, it's only going to move them back about 2 yards, 2.5 yards. But that's still, you're still running the risk every single time of something silly happen. A botched snap is a ball. It's going to be a loose ball in the end zone, and the way Hunterdon Central has been swarming all these fumbles, they have been doing a very good job of getting through. They have a nose for the football, especially when it's on the ground. So this is just a risk. That's a play Union can't have. And right there, they're just kind of hurting themselves by putting themselves further back into their own zone.
2nd down and 13. 1:24 on the clock. Clock stopped after that penalty. They'll give it to Igbenosin one more time. He's got some room around the edge and tries to get forward. Gets to about the 8. Whistles. Timeout Central. They've got one remaining after this. 1:17 on the clock. If Central gets a stop, Joe, they can get the ball back and try to score.
Yeah, this is a great stand so far for this Hunterdon Central defense. They've stepped up. 2 big plays on running plays. Union went into, shocking to see it, but you very rarely see it, I formation under center with a fullback in the game. So when you see that formation, you know the run is coming. And Hunterdon Central has done a good job on 1st down before the penalty. They only gave up a yard, and right there they only gave up 2 yards to Igbenosu, who has had a very good day so far running the ball. So good job by this Hunterdon Central front 7 plugging up holes, not letting them get outside, and just keeping them bottled up a little bit. So this is a tough play call for Union right here, because do you pass? Do you run the risk of a sack or a botched snap, or do you run the ball again, try and just chew down some more clock, and then force a punt, or help your punter is able to pin Hunterdon Central back behind their 50?
Big play in this game. With 77 seconds to go in the first half. If you're Union, are you just thinking another run here, try to get the 1st down and go into the half, or are you maybe looking to air it out?
I think if I'm Union, I'm running the ball. They've had success running the ball so far in this game, but I think it's a needless risk for Union to try anything out of shotgun, try throwing the ball, because with the way this ball, we have seen a fumble on a shotgun snap, and I'm shocked to see them in shotgun on this play.
Well, Stewart's got a little room out of his own end zone. And he will keep it on the read, bounces it to the outside, looking to get it, and he runs out of bounds. Well, Stewart stops the clock with 1:10 to play. Hunterdon Central can save that timeout. He only got 2, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, great job by Connor Lancaster, chasing down Stewart, forcing him out of bounds on that play. And honestly, that's not a good play for Union if you're watching your quarterback run out of bounds and stop the clock for Hunterdon Central. That completely helps him out, and that gives Hunterdon Central keeps them able to keep their timeout, and they're going to be able to stop the clock on whatever down they want to stop the clock.
So 1:10 to play. Trevor Fish back to return at the Union 40. And whistles before the snap, and another flag, and it's movement on Union, so that'll move things back to their own 5. That'll make this punt that much more difficult for Ramsey LaFawn deep into his own end zone.
Yeah, this is a high-risk punt now, especially punting out of your own end zone. Any sort of high snap can almost force a safety. Any ball goes behind him, safety. That gives Hunterdon Central 2 points and also gives them the ball as well. So Hunterdon Central is hoping for a low or high snap.
LaFond had to go to his left to field that one. It's a short kick. Dies in the wind. This is going to be great field position for Central. Inside the 30 of Union. 58 seconds to go. Plenty of time for them to get on the board before half.
Yeah, great job by the Hunterdon Central defense. 3 and out is huge for them, stopping this offense from gaining a 1st down at all. That's a great stop and a great job. They really stepped up on that possession there, forcing them to keep it within their 10. And then also, that's an unfortunate punt, punting into the wind, into the rain. It's a hard punt to make, especially out of your own end zone. So this gives Hunterdon Central the ball within striking distance.
Mark it down at the 27. That's just a 22-yard punt by LaFond as the wind really wreaking havoc on this one. Lentenny looking for a screen. It's not there. He spikes it in the direction of Carbo. 2nd down and well defended by this Union defense.
Yeah, good job by the defensive linemen being able to plant their foot once they read screen, because the Hunterdon Central offensive lineman just gave them a free rush to the quarterback. And generally, it's hard to stop yourself, especially as a defensive lineman. When you see a quarterback by himself in a free run, you want to take it. But good job, well coached, being able to put their foot in the ground, stop, find the screen pass, and being able to lock up Carbo.
Lentenny back to throw. Carbo again incomplete. That throw turned him around. He was running in the flat. Lentenny threw it upfield, and they weren't able to connect.
Yeah, pressure in his face coming from the edge, unblocked. I mean, you blitz 6, you only got 5 guys to block him, especially with the running back going out into the flat. So, good try by Frankie Lentenny trying to get the ball out to Carbo in the flat, but a little behind him, turned him around. It would have been a great catch by Carbo, but hard throw from Lentenny to make with pressure in his face.
Big play here. 3rd down and 10, 49 seconds to go. Lentenny looking over the middle. He's got Bill trying to get to the marker. He's close to it, out of bounds right around the line to gain.
Yeah, they're giving him the first down. Great job by Owen Bill, able to get the yards to gain and get himself out of bounds. Save this timeout. They're going to try and keep this timeout for as long as possible because you don't want to use it. You only will use it if you don't get the first down and you're inbound and you don't think you can get up and clock the ball as quick as possible.
Bill needed 10. He got exactly that. 42 seconds to play. First half. And the Red Devils looking to turn the momentum around. Lentenny going to throw for it. Now he loses it and has to fall on top of it. Back outside the red zone. It's a loss of about 5. And more importantly, the clock winding inside 30 seconds. Coach is sending in the play. We're down to 20 seconds. Lentenny takes the snap. Over the middle, incomplete. Off the hands of Trevor Fish. A little bit behind him.
Yeah, ball a little bit behind him, but that would have been a good catch once again. Turned around a little bit, going backwards. So, good job trying to adjust the ball, but that took a lot of time off the clock. Almost 16 full seconds off the clock trying to get that play call in. I'm surprised we didn't see the use of that timeout. Try and save as much time as possible. Give your guys a chance to maybe catch a quick out, get the ball within field goal range at least so you can come away with some sort of points.
Down to 12 seconds in the first half. Central does have a timeout. Lentenny throws it deep toward the sideline. Dangerous throw, and it's caught. First down inside the 10-yard line. And it was Gray on the catch. So 5 seconds to play. 1 timeout for Central.
Looks like
they used their last timeout as Gray was tackled inbounds. They're inside the 10. Well in field goal range, especially in this direction.
Yeah, great job by Cole Gray on that play. Frankie Lentenny put it in an area where only he could get it because that was a very well-covered route there by the Union defensive backs. They ran with him stride for stride, but Frankie Lentenny putting the ball in a spot where only Cole Gray could have came down with that and perfectly executed. Great job by Cole Gray going up and getting it and getting the yards to gain. And now they're if you're Hunterdon Central, Jimmy, do you think you take a shot or do you think you take just the easy 3 points?
Well, it depends if you have a play that you can run in this amount of time too. I think that's part of it as well. Because we've seen teams with about this amount of time. This is sort of the gray area where it's like, do you take a shot, do you not? And it is Brian Collodi, the kicker, on the field. So Tom, Bill, and the coaching staff judging that they didn't want to run a play here, but they've got a chance at points. As it looks like the uprights, at least from here, maybe slightly tilted back, but that shows you which way the wind is blowing. It is at the back of Brian Collodi. From 24 yards out. Kick is up, it's low, and no good, wide left.
Good try there by Brian Collodi, just trying to get it. Got the kickoff, very well executed snap and hold, but that is a hard kick, especially with these high school hashes, much wider than the goalpost. So that's a tough angle kick to make, especially as a high school kid. But great job by Hunterdon Central being able to move the ball up and down the field so far. So I'm interested to see how they come out in the second half, receiving the ball.
So that is the half. 15-0 our score. Union on top of Hunterdon Central. Stay tuned for the halftime report here. Our own Jim Johnson will be sitting down with a very special guest. Stay tuned for that. We'll have more at the half, and we'll be back for the second half after this on Hunterdon Central Live.
And we're back here at halftime. Red Devils football on this very inclement Friday night. Red Devils trail the Union Farmers by the count of 15-0 here at Stewart Field on senior night. Not the senior night that most fans envisioned, but it does make us wish we were indoors. And speaking of indoors, we are joined now by our special guest, the new boys basketball coach here at Hunterdon Central, Tristan DeFazio. Coach, welcome.
Jim, thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Coach, it's going to be an exciting time here in the hardwood, and it's just down the road. Practices start exactly when?
Tryouts start November 22nd, and then the following week, November 29th, we start practice, and then we open up December 19th at Phillipsburg.
December 19th. It seems a little ways off, but I know how time flies, Coach. It just goes fast. So let's talk a little bit about the build-up and the excitement for you. First year as varsity coach here at Central, you've got to be pretty enthused about the opportunity to lead this program.
Oh, absolutely. First off, I want to thank the administration here at Central, Dr. Moore, Ed Brandt, Jesse Spencer for the opportunity. Taking over for my predecessor, who's friend and mentor, Mike Falco, really established what Hunterdon Central basketball is, and, looking just to carry the torch and continue to be a steward of the program. Kind of taking a motto right now of, we want to respect the past, embrace the present, and build for the future. So, the foundation was laid, it's in place, and we look to continue that tradition.
And that torch burnt brightly under the era of Mike Falco. 9 years here. Just a great run, a marvelous job by Coach Falco. So the excitement builds for Central basketball. Let's talk a little bit about this year's team and what's your expectations at this point. I realize tryouts haven't been held. You're still trying to figure out some loose ends. But what do you think will be the positives, the great positives of the team as we head into the season?
So even though we graduated a large senior class last year, very successful senior class, who 6 of which are playing college basketball this upcoming year, there's actually a class of seniors coming up, 7 seniors. So even though, maybe not as much varsity experience in that group, they have played together over the past 3 years, and there is some leadership there and some good experience. So looking for those seniors to come together, to lead, to help bring some of the young guys along. There's some promise in the sophomore class as well. So we're looking to develop. We'd like to come along quickly. We come out of the gate, have a couple of conference games. So between our scrimmages, our practices, and our early conference games, we hope to grow. Just every practice, every day, taking one practice at a time, one game at a time, and hopefully building to play meaningful basketball in February.
So the program, Coach, the way we could say it, you just hit the nail on the head. 6 players graduated last year that are playing college basketball this year. That is pretty awesome. And in fact, we don't go back too far to the era of the great Tucker Richardson here. Tucker still at Colgate, I believe. It's finally senior year, but he's been the NCAA's, it seems like, almost every year, right?
He has. I was actually at a clinic a month or two ago and saw the Lehigh coach, and we got to talk, and he saw, I had Hunterdon Central stuff on. He said, what's that kid? I said, oh, Tucker Richardson. He was like, we can't wait till he's gone. We feel like he's been there for 8 years. And Tucker, as a player and as a student as well, everything that you would want a Red Devil basketball player to be. He really represented the program well, continues obviously to represent the program well. And we actually right now have 10 players who are going to be playing college basketball this year who are Red Devil graduates. So, the foundation has been laid. Mike Falco obviously did a great job. And, we want to continue just to build great basketball players and continue to have a great basketball program here at Hunterdon Central.
10 Red Devils playing college basketball. That's pretty awesome, because we all know that's realistically one of the harder sports to make it at that next level. The number of positions just aren't what they are in football, baseball, you name your sport. Pretty tremendous run by Coach Falco. So, Coach, as we kind of get ready for it, what are your kind of day-to-day your day-to-day progress at this point of the off season? You mentioned about hitting some clinics. How has all that gone so far?
Good. Good. Had the opportunity to go to the New Jersey Basketball Coaches Association clinic a couple weeks ago with one of my assistants here, Steve Peichel, talk from Rutgers, also the men's head basketball coach at Seton Hall University. So just getting some ideas, and luckily had the opportunity to work with the guys in the summer, so we had the opportunity to lay down a little bit of a foundation. And as we go into the fall, those first couple of days, it's almost stepping stones, right? Basics, building it back up to it. But, we do want to hit the ground running because 8 days in, we have our first scrimmage. So in terms of, looking how we want to progress on a day-to-day basis is, just every facet of the game, really. You know what I mean? So we want to play fast. We want to play very, very fast. We want to get up and down the floor offensively. We want to pressure team. So right from the get-go, that's how practice has to be structured, and that's going to be kind of our calling card as a team, that we want to play fast and we want to create pressure.
And how does that preparation for you change? Now, you've been an assistant coach in some various sports here at Central the last few years. But now you're the head guy, the top dog, the big cheese, wherever I'm going with this. But how has that kind of changed your approach, knowing that this is you're now at the next level?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous.
Coach, you should be a little nervous.
I'd be lying if I said, December 19th that, I might be pulling a Denzel Washington and remember the Titans and finding a garbage can somewhere. But very fortunate, to have coached here and had, coached for some great coaches as an assistant coach, Mike Raymond, Kevin Kuzi. I share an office with John Canigallo, obviously working with Mike Falco. All amazing mentors who I'm able to bounce ideas off of and kind of, who bring me back to reality that it is the first year, right? And as Coach Falco always used to say, that game one's not the Super Bowl. We want to have everything in. You want to be ready to go, but it's not the Super Bowl. It's a 27-game season. So if you can keep that in mind and, also not put too much on the guys, because at the end of the day, basketball is kind of a sport where it's what you do in unscripted moments, right? So letting them play a little bit more basketball, letting them be a little bit more free. So we don't want to put too much on them. Obviously, we want to be solid fundamentally, have our offensive and defensive stuff, our sets that we're going to run. But, it's a day-to-day process, just trying to get better every day. One game at a time, one practice at a time, one drill at a time, really.
And what's the conference? Were things tweaked a little bit in this as we head into this basketball season with a couple of new teams in our league?
So we're actually not till next year. They'll switch the divisions next year. But this year we still have that team, Gill St. Bernards.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. I think most people have. I think the country will hear about them this year. But still Watchung, Franklin, Gill, and then our crossovers. Bridgewater, Hillsborough are in the division as well. Then our crossovers will be Immaculata, Phillipsburg, and Ridge. So between that, our holiday tournament, which we're going to be up at Del Barton for, non-conference games against Trenton Central, Delaware Valley, Scotch Plains Fanwood, and then a showcase game up in Jersey City against Notre Dame High School. I mean, our schedule it's a challenging schedule, but at the same time, I think, a schedule that we can, improve upon as the season goes along.
One other thing I wanted to ask, do you find that maybe you watch, the NBA wouldn't be the right yardstick, but with college basketball just getting ready to get started, do you find you watch a little more of that and just try to pick things up, or, what's your approach in that front?
So right now, the only thing that's on is NBA, which,
hard to draw out plans from that. Yeah.
Well, Coach Falco and I would always have this argument because he's a big NBA guy and I'm a big college basketball guy. And at the end of the day, the NBA is watching the best in the world do what they do, and also the best coaches in the world do what they do. So even though some things are, NBA high-level things, it's still some things that you can pick up because the pace of play in NBA, because of the 24-second shot clock and the way that they want to play. Some really good early offense stuff, just things to get some false motion and get guys moving. It's all relative. it's all relative now. The thing is, we don't have LeBron James on the court, you know what I mean? So, that isolation type basketball where they can just go get a bucket whenever they want, obviously not. But I'll be honest with you, in terms of college basketball, really the thing that's most relatable to high school is women's college basketball. So women's college basketball, and I've done a lot of research with some of the stuff that they do. The Arkansas, the Lady Razorbacks, Cal Poly Pomona, some of the stuff that they do. Some of the the stuff in the women's game is just more relatable to the high school game. So we pick and choose. I watch a lot of basketball, but at the same time, you have to be realistic that, when you're watching Duke on TV, those are 5-star recruits all over the floor. So, you have to be able to do things where, your guys can put them in position to succeed. What's realistic for them? We want to challenge them, but at the same time, like I told you earlier, having a group of seniors, they really do play well together. So, can they play in unscripted moments and we give them the freedom to really kind of do what they do in the half court and, our early offense stuff. So, looking forward to it.
Well, chemistry is the biggest thing, Coach. We hear it in any sport. You name the sport, but maybe as much in basketball. You feel pretty good about the chemistry of these guys from what you've seen so far?
Yeah, they they hang out together. They have their group texts and whatnot. And some of the younger guys that have had the opportunity to play with some of the older guys, whether it be in the summer or a little bit in the fall, it seems like they're really coming along. So it's a group that I got the opportunity. I didn't have the opportunity to coach him as freshmen. I had one of the players, I coached on the JV team when he was a freshman. But, they've been together for 4 years. They're a great group of young men. I think there's, people are saying, Central, who knows what's coming back. I think it's a talented group. I'm not going to say we have 5-star recruits all over the court, but, it's a talented group. They're good young men, and they're friends. They're best friends, and at the end of the day, that's, chemistry, like you said, it counts for, that's the intangible.
It can go a long way. And the one thing I did not expect to hear today was Cal Poly Pomona.
Women's. The women's Cal Poly
I'm pretty
Pomona
good with
team.
nicknames, by the way, of teams around the country, but Cal Poly Pomona, I think you got me on that one. That may be one I'm looking up later tonight.
Well, just in case, Ryan McKeever from Immaculata's listening. I don't want to tell you what I picked up from Cal Poly Pomona, but
Coach McKeever, I hope you're not listening into this. he's looking on the YouTube right now. Cal Poly. How do you spell Pomona?
Pomona.
Well, Coach, with a night like tonight and the just the lousy conditions out here at Stewart Field, it's kind of good to start thinking, kind of turn that page a little bit toward the winter sports, and certainly looking forward to you and wish you all the best here on the hardwood. We will be following you closely on HCTV.
Thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate it. And, anybody out there listening, it's going to be, we're going to have fans again this year, which is going to be awesome. So come out to a game this year, support your Red Devils basketball team, the ladies basketball team as well, on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. And can't wait to see you in the wintertime.
Absolutely. After what we all went through last year, and that would be the fans and family of the players when they'd have to listen to guys like me being the only person in the gym, it's going to be great for that sense of normalcy. Absolutely. And we're looking forward to it. That was head coach Tristan DeFazio, the new boys basketball coach here at Hunterdon Central, as he'll get started with his duties later this month, actually. And please stand by as we will bring you second half action here from a very wet Stewart Field. Jimmy Sullivan and Joe Whalen will bring you that call. Red Devils look to gain some ground here in the second half. They have spotted the Farmers of Union 15 points, and that's where we are, 15-0 at the half.
It's rocking. Just about ready to start the third quarter. Again, our thanks to new Hunterdon Central men's basketball coach Tristan DeFazio for taking some time with us at the half. Jimmy Sullivan, Joe Whalen with you here on Hunterdon Central Live. 15-0 our score in favor of Union. And Joe, Hunterdon Central had their opportunities in that first half. Couple of drives fizzled out. At the end of the half, they try a field goal inside the 10-yard line. Brian Collodi misses wide to the left. Hunterdon Central able to move the ball, but again, they come away with nothing.
Yeah, I think this has kind of been a consistent problem so far for Hunterdon Central this season, is moving the ball up and down the field with whatever they want to run. They've been able to move the ball, but they have had some struggles punching the ball into the end zone. So I'm interested to see what the coaches drew up at halftime to try and work on that problem, because the defense has been playing fantastically. They've been keeping this game within reach for Hunterdon Central's offense. It's just a matter, one or two plays for Hunterdon Central, they could go their way. But if Hunterdon Central can punch in a score quick on this first opening drive, I think we got a new ball game, new life for this Hunterdon Central team. I think this will be a little bit of a spark drive for them. Try and get the defense back into getting back into the groove of the game. They just had an unbelievable 3-and-out, stopping Union from moving the ball at all, giving the offense the ball back within their own 30. So hopefully the offense can get something going right now, get themselves moving the ball a little bit more, and get the ball into the end zone.
And as you referenced, Joe, it is Hunterdon Central getting the kickoff to start the second half. Rain coming down heavier as the night has progressed. We are expecting it to get a little worse from here. Wind has been whipping all night. And it is at the back of the kickoff specialist, Ramsey LaFond. The ball goes off the tee. This game was scheduled to start at 7. It was moved up to 6 to try to both get the senior night ceremonies in and have the game played in a little bit better conditions tonight. But now with the clock approaching 8 o'clock, things deteriorating here at Stewart Field. LaFond with a short kick. Back at the 10, fielded by Jamal Kuhn, looking for some room. And he's out to about the 25-yard line, so that's where Hunterdon Central will start the second half. Frankie Lenteni in that first half threw a couple of picks, one to Omar Ibrahim and one to Davison Igbinosin. 2 scores in that first half, rushing TDs, one for Igbinosin, one for Rashawn Harris. Now Hunterdon Central looking to get on the board for the first time tonight. Bill in motion. He gets the little push pass, looking for room around the edge. It's not there. Loss of 5. As they tried to get a big play with Bill, instead they go in the wrong direction.
Yeah, nothing doing on that play. Great job by his Union defensive ends, keeping the ball contained, not letting Owen Bill get himself out into space. Owen Bill, one-on-one, is a very hard player to take down one-on-one for a defensive back. He's a bigger-bodied wide receiver, so that would have been a big mismatch out in space. Good job by these D-ends keeping him contained.
2nd and 15, a handoff to Julio Marsiglia, trying to get those yards back. He will not. Back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. It'll be 3rd down and long. This front 7 for Union has been dominating the trenches all night.
Yeah, they've been able to any sort of push Hunterdon Central gets. I mean, it's taking 2 or 3 guys to get a good push on these big D tackles for Union. So it's freeing up a linebacker, letting them go make the plays.
Well, I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for quite a while. Think we could play through.
Yeah, definitely. Little rain never hurt anybody.
3rd down and 15. Need the 35 for a first down. Tenney throws incomplete. In the direction of Owen Bill, he wasn't looking for it. And it was well short of Joey Valentino, who limps away from the scene. 4th down and long, and another punt for Hunterdon Central.
Yeah, that's just not the drive Hunterdon Central wanted to draw up. I mean, first play from scrimmage, you get behind the sticks. You hear coaches say that all the time. Behind the sticks is basically you give yourself longer than 10 yards, and you're off schedule. You schedule your first couple plays. Once you get off schedule, you're kind of scrambling, trying to draw up a play to get those yards back, get get a big gain, get 15 yards, rather than trying to go 3 simple plays, get 4 or 5 yards each play, and get an easy first down.
Decker McNally will punt. Wind is blowing in his direction. This one's a wobbler, and Union will have it in Central territory. Marked out at the 48-yard line. So this Union offense, which made some strides in the second quarter, we were scoreless after one, and then Union broke off a couple of big runs for their 2 scores. They'll try to create more distance on this drive. Jaden Stewart is the quarterback. Haven't seen him throw it very much tonight. Davidson Igbenosin and Ashawn Harris, the featured running backs. And I think we'll see a pretty heavy dose of those two in this second half if Union wants to pull away. Both on the field now. It's Harris in the backfield. Central's going to load up the box. They'll give it to Harris anyway. He's got room around the edge. Stiff arms a man and goes down for about 3. Patrick Kazmarek tried to make the stop. Wound up on the deck. It's 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, good job right there by the left side of that offensive line for Union. They completely collapsed this defensive line, folded them, walled off Connor Lancaster and Vincent Brito from being able to scrape over the top and try and make a play. And good job by the cornerback out there, forcing him to try and cut back inside. And right now the elements played a part in that. He was trying to cut back, lost his footing, slipped a little bit.
That's coming down harder now. Igbenosin out of the Wildcat, rounds the corner again. Down the sideline he goes, and Igbenosin tripped up at around the 10. A penalty flag is down. And there's a man down for Central as well. Valentino made the stop. We'll see the flag, and we'll check on the injury. We saw a lot of flags in the first half.
Yeah, actually a ton of flags, more flags than I think I've ever seen. I think these refs are calling everything. They're not really letting anything slide.
It's a hold on Union, so that play goes off the board. Another huge run for Igbenosin.
Yeah, huge play for Hunterdon Central. They're getting that call, and that can kind of not derail this drive, but that may slow down a little bit for Union right there. Trying to keep generating these huge plays right there. Good job by that offensive line, opening up a hold, but kind of hurt themselves with a holding call there, bringing that big play back. So prevents Union from having the ball within the red zone. So lucky for Hunterdon Central.
The Hunterdon Central player is still down at the sideline around the 10-yard line. They're getting him up, and it looks to be Joey Valentino who made that tackle. Went down awkwardly and walks towards his own bench. So that penalty wipes out a 35-yard run by Igbenosin.
Yeah, now we see the rain is starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah, it's coming down significantly harder than anything we saw in the first half. If you just look at the lights across from us, you can see how hard the rain's coming down. And this is much closer to a downpour than what we saw in the first half. Really, it was not raining that hard in the first half. It was more the wind making it look like a huge rainstorm. But it's coming down pretty good now. Igbenosin and the Wildcat again. Penalty pushed it back to the original line of scrimmage. Stewart will throw toward the sideline. Another flag down. It's off the hands of Harris and incomplete.
Stewart's pass incomplete on the far side, intended for Harris. Incomplete.
And it's an illegal procedure on Union.
So that's going to back them up another 5 yards if Hunterdon Central decides to accept that. And it looks like they will. So they're going to try and push Union back as far as possible, because with the way this offense is able to move the ball, it seems like they can gain any sort of amount of yards. So a 3rd and 8 is definitely, or a 2nd and long is better than a 3rd and 8.
Well, that's interesting you say that. Tom Bill has actually changed his mind. Looked like he was going to accept it. Now he declines it. So it is 3rd down and 7. So they decline the penalty. And I get the sense you probably would have taken it if it was up to you, that you would have pushed them back the 5 yards.
Yeah, I think the way this offense moves the ball every single play, they've shown the ability to have a big play with the most simple of concepts. So I would have tried to push them back a little bit more.
Jaden Stewart drops the snap, picked up by Igmanosin. He'll try to get around the edge, and he does! A botched snap, and it's going to turn into a touchdown! Wow! But there's another flag down. Hold the telephone.
Just the third penalty in 3 plays, or fourth penalty in a row.
And it's on Union. And it's a blindside block. And that'll push it back.
Yeah,
well, they'll accept this penalty.
Yeah, definitely accept this one. That's a newer rule that actually has been being implemented in college as well, where they're trying to eliminate those blindside blocks where you see a lot of players get hurt, you see a lot of injuries happen on those plays. They're trying to protect players, and so usually what constitutes a blindside block is a block where the player hasn't even had a chance to turn his head to be able to brace himself at least for some sort of contact. It's kind of a cheap shot. I mean, sometimes you see those on those highlight reels of like biggest hits ever. You see a couple blindside blocks, and that used to be a part of the game. But now as the game adapts more and more, you like seeing. I mean, that's a good penalty call because you're trying to keep kids out of harm's way where they're not even looking and they're getting wiped out.
What was that segment on ESPN? What was it, Jacked Up?
Yeah,
is that what it was called?
Jacked Up.
And they're not doing that anymore for obvious reasons. Stewart will throw. And he finds Nazir, gets up to about the 45, and taken down right there by Zachary Schultz. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, great job by Schultz on that play. The defensive end fought off his block, read the screen, and immediately turned and sprinted as fast as he can. Very rarely are you going to see a defensive end track down a wide receiver at the sideline, but great job by him flying over, coming over to make that play behind him. Forces Union to punt. This is actually a big stop for Hunterdon Central right there.
Ramsey LaFond to punt. As we're 4 minutes into this second half. And Trevor Fish back to return. Another low kick, but a good one. It'll get past Fish. And it'll roll dead at about the 10. LaFond has had success kicking it in that direction. That's a 45-yard punt. And Hunterdon Central will start with the ball deep in their own territory.
Yeah, great punt on that play. Great punt right there. Low punt. You didn't really. I thought that was going to kind of run out, kind of maybe get to the end zone potentially for Hunterdon Central to get the ball at the 20, but looked like a Phil Mickelson chip shot right there with a little backspin. It just stopped right there on the 10-yard line. Let his gunners go down and down the ball.
Like he was playing straight out of the bunker, right?
Exactly.
Well, if they're playing out of the bunker, this Red Devils offense is going to need a hole-in-one pretty soon. And Tenney will give it to Michael Carbo, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. There just has not been much room for the Red Devils to run tonight.
No, this defensive line, I mean, obviously just looking at them on camera, they're big. They're a big defensive line, but they're very athletic. They're able to shed blocks and make plays in the backfield. And they're also doing a good job eating up blocks and freeing up linebackers, preventing offensive linemen from getting downfield and putting on blocks on linebackers. And they're just kind of doing what Vince Wilfork did for so many years in the NFL, eat up blocks and let other guys make plays.
Christopher Jekwu in the middle called his name a number of times tonight. That's Carbo again, and again, just not much room. May have gotten a yard, but that's it. Called to Jekwu's name tonight. Janiko Zarumba has been active in this one as well. Just the front seven absolutely dominating for Union against a pretty young offensive line for the Red Devils. They're down in 10. And Tenney over the middle, incomplete. It was either Gray or Bill the intended target. But either way, nothing there and another punt.
Yeah, unfortunately for Hunterdon Central, right now this Union front seven is really packing the box. They're really putting all their chips in to stop the run game because of the way this weather is affecting the game. It is going to be very hard for Frankie Lentini to get a consistent pass base going on. So for Union, they're just going to keep loading the box. They're going to try and prevent Julio Marsiglia and Carbo to beat them with running. They're going to force Hunterdon Central to throw the ball and beat them through the air.
Decker McNally to kick from his own end zone. And this one's not going very far. Well, it takes a good hop. And Igbenosin will let it stop. The 44-yard line, and then a flag comes down behind the play. And so we'll see what that's about. And either it'll be at the 44, or it'll be somewhere else, and it'll probably be somewhere else. Did not see what happened behind the play. A late flag after that ball was kicked away. Well, the referees have tried all night to take control of this, but it's still been very chippy. And it's on Union, so push it back. Boy, Union has had a number of unforced errors tonight.
Yeah, a bunch of unsportsmanlike conducts so far. We've seen a bunch of 15-yard penalties, and they have really pushed themselves back. They've hurt themselves with these penalties, as you just said. I mean, these are just unforced errors. This is just things you can completely avoid. These are plays you don't need to be involved. You don't need to be shoving, pushing after plays. There's no need for it, and if you're up like this, there's no need to push yourself farther back into your own zone. You're just trying to eat up clock. You're going to be trying to just put another score, try and make this game out of reach. And when you push yourself, it's going to give Hunterdon Central's defense more momentum, more stuff for them to run with, and they're going to keep stiffening up and being able to make stops.
So what was field position in Central territory turns into first down at their own 40 for Union. 6:18 to go, third quarter. Give up the middle to Harris. Now he bounces it outside. Ashawn Harris down the sideline. Foot race. He's gone. Touchdown. No flags.
And
now there's one.
Looks like it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct for dancing in the end zone right there on Harris, but a great run by Harris. Great job getting the outside. And once again, we saw this last week against Edison, where these Edison wide receivers were able to get blocks on Hunterdon Central's cornerbacks. And that what right there was a great example of Union's wide receivers getting out in space and being able to just jam up Hunterdon Central's cornerbacks and safeties, not letting them able to get off blocks and giving a wide open lane for Harris to take. And he took it, and he was by far the fastest player on that play. It looked like he was untouched for about 60 yards.
So this gets interesting now because that little celebration by Harris, it'll be a penalty on Union. So the touchdown stands, and then they'll get the unsportsmanlike conduct.
Looks like it's going to be enforced on the kickoff.
Yeah, see, I was just going to say, if they enforced it on the extra point, that would make things very interesting. But they're not going to do that. Instead, a 60-yard touchdown run for Ashawn Harris, second touchdown of the night. His 2 touchdown runs have combined for 100 yards alone. And the kick is snuffed out at the line. It was a low kick, rough hold, and it's no good. And the score stays 21-0.
Yeah, definitely a low snap. Looked like it may have bounced or skipped back to the holder, and he had a hard time fielding it and getting it onto the block, so this kicker had a chance to make that extra point. So Hunterdon Central kind of catches a break a little bit with that extra point being missed, and now this kick being enforced. Looks like Union's going to be kicking off from their own 25.
And against the wind, too, because the wind is going from left to right.
Yeah, so Hunterdon Central.
As you watch, actually, it is in the direction of the wind. I beg your pardon. But still, possibly a return opportunity for Central. They just need any sort of a spark here, being down 21-0.
Yeah, down 21. I mean, still, it's only a 3-score ball game. And against Union, this is something that could really help you because Union has such a good offense. They have been loading up points on teams throughout the season, like we said, like the past 2 weeks it's been 84-7 they've outscored their opponents. So being within 3 scores of them with half of a third quarter and the full fourth quarter, Hunterdon Central is still within striking distance, so hopefully they can capitalize on good field position.
Josh Jones is the holder for LaPond on the kick. He sends it away. Nope. Whistles and a flag. And I think one of the Union gunners jumped off sides, got ahead of the kick, so that'll push it back another 5 yards. They're going to be kicking from their own end zone pretty soon.
Yeah, I know. A couple more penalties, and Hunterdon Central have ball in midfield.
Well, the kickoff spot's the 40 in high school, and then they got pushed back 15 on the excessive celebration, and then they get pushed back another 5. So now you've got the deep man for Central, Jamal Kuhn, is standing at his own 30. So Central should have good field position off of this.
Yeah, unless this kicker has a leg like Sebastian Janikowski and kicks it to the end zone, I think Hunterdon Central should be able to get good field position.
That's a low kick. He's no Justin Tucker, and Kuhn fields it at his own 35. Jamal Kuhn through the hole into Union territory and down around the 45.
All right, so Hunterdon Central, they are within 45 yards of the end zone. So this is best case scenario. Good kick return by Kuhn on that play. So hopefully Hunterdon Central's offense can capitalize. I think we're going to see a lot more of an air attack now, because right now this front seven is kind of dominating the game for Union. They have been controlling the line of scrimmage, and if you control the line of scrimmage, you can control a football game. So,
and I think also by virtue of where we're at in the game, halfway through the third quarter, 21-0 ball game, you're starting to need some quicker scores, especially with that Union offense on the other side. Instead, it'll be a run. Lenteni to the outside. Bounces off his own man and gets 2. They have not really aired it out tonight. Lenteni has struggled when he's dropped back to throw. But again, hard to blame him with the weather and the wind and the rain.
Yeah, it's definitely tough being a quarterback in such an inclement weather game, especially when you're trying to throw the ball, you're trying to get a quick score. It's going to be tough for Lenteni to try and handle the weather, handle the wind coming into his face. He's going to be trying to maybe throw a couple deep balls, and it's definitely going to be tough for him to get the ball out there.
Julio Marsiglia limped off after that last play. Lenteni's going to throw this one. Steps up, tucks under, going to run, and out of bounds, short of the first down. And Tyler Malik Ismail was in his face at the end of the play. The crowd wanted a flag, and they get one. Maybe not related to the hit itself, but potentially another penalty on Union, although we wait for the official call. Would love to see when this game ends, the box score and the stats come out, the penalty yards for Union in this one.
They have had multiple personal fouls and sportsmanlike conduct, so definitely getting up there in penalty yards given up, but somehow they have been able to keep themselves composed and still be able to be leading by 3 scores.
I tell you, it's really a skill in football to just get a ton of penalties and not have it hurt you. I think that's a testament, one, to how good your team is, but also situationally.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a skill to be able to have almost 100 or over 100 yards in penalty yards and still be able to be leading by 3 scores, still be up 21-0.
And we've had somebody ejected as well here. So in addition to the unsportsmanlike, somebody got tossed, and I'll be interested to see who that was. Because this could potentially affect Union going into the state playoffs as well. And I think there's one person I'm particularly interested in, and that's Igbinison. There's a couple different people it could be. And it looks to be, well, like Binnison appears to be staying on the field. And they're, I think, trying to usher off Louis Jones. He's also a receiver for this team. And now another flag. It's a delay of game because Jones was apparently ejected and hasn't left the field.
So tack on another 5 yards for Hunterdon Central.
That gave off major. You ever watch Seinfeld?
Yeah.
You know the scene where George walks in. He's like, "You can't fire me. I quit."
Exactly. Gave off the exact same vibe where he did not want to get he didn't want to get ejected, and after he got ejected, he didn't want to leave the field.
So Jules is gone. He has now left the field, and Central is inside the 20.
So Hunterdon Central kind of blessed with this great opportunity for them to have the ball within the red zone after an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in the end zone for taunting or excessive celebration. So they got the ball at Union's 45. So let's see if they can capitalize.
This will be a run. Carbo dropped it, and I think was able to fall back on top of it, but a loss of yards. Back at the 20 of Union. Messed up exchange. The wet ball, which they're replacing every couple of plays, leads to a loss of a couple. Second down and 12. Centennial throw. Looking deep towards the end zone. Incomplete, but a flag. Owen Bill, the intended target. Davison and Binnison in coverage. And that looks like pass interference on Union.
Yeah, once again, Frankie Lentini going to his number one guy, Owen Bill, number one target. And it looked like Owen Bill had Igbenison beat on that play. He had him beat over the top. So that was kind of a last-ditched effort to prevent a touchdown, kind of shoved him out, gave him a little bit of a pass interference. So good job by Owen Bill being able to draw that penalty, and this puts Hunterdon Central within the 10-yard line. This is an area, this is a spot they need to score. They cannot come away from this drive empty-handed.
And Owen Bill running around with a bit of a limp after that play. But now the age-old question. Can Central punch it in, finish off this drive? Fake to Carbo. Ball is on the ground. Carbo's got it back at the 15. Second faulty exchange we've seen on this drive.
Hunterdon Central dodges a bullet. Nick Rua on that play, defensive end for Union, ran by to try and make a play on Frankie Lentini. Didn't even realize the ball was right underneath him. So good job by Carbo being able to find the ball, scoop it up, prevent a turnover. But once again, Hunterdon Central starting to stall out a little bit in this red zone area, somewhere they have struggled all season.
Gonna roll out Lentini. Back the other way. He's got Cole Gray. Breaking a tackle. Gray lunging forward. He's short of the goal line and down at the 2.
But a first down for Hunterdon Central. So great play call running a throwback screen to the tight end. So Frankie Lentini rolling out was able to draw the defensive line with him and able to throw the ball just over Rua's head on that play. Get it to Cole Gray, one of his playmakers at tight end. And great job by Cole Gray being able to make a few guys miss and get that first down.
First and goal for Central. Give up the middle. Carbo knifing his way through. He is short. Got to about the half-yard line. Wanted the touchdown. Didn't quite make it.
Yeah, got about as close as he can to the end zone without actually going in. So I think right now we might see might either see a fullback dive, If I'm the play callers, I think you call Frankie Lentini under center, let him just try and dive to the end zone. I mean, he's 6'3" and he's a great athlete, so I would be calling a QB sneak on this play.
Instead, they've got him in the shotgun. It's Carbo up the middle again, and again he stopped short. Third down. Well, you make an interesting point with Lentini. They've been very reluctant to put him under center. They run this offense exclusively out of the shotgun. And that creates a little bit more wiggle room for the defense, and we saw that the last couple of plays.
Yeah, I mean, if you're running shotgun all the time, it gives the defensive line a little bit of a break to not have to fire off low and try and force a pile. They can actually play straight up.
Carbo again gets through, and this time he's in. Touchdown Central.
That is exactly what Hunterdon Central needed. And
there's another flag.
Another flag. There's an unbelievable amount of penalties being thrown tonight.
Well, anything that is remotely approach taunting they've called in an effort to get control of this rivalry. And we'll sort out the call. Truth be told, Joe, I mean, I know we're kind of far away. I didn't really see anything obvious there, but, you know, it's hard to tell what's said.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any extracurricular shoving, pushing, anything after the play. You didn't really see anything in that play. So I guess there must have been words exchanged, something where the refs could have called a penalty, but I'm a little shocked to be seeing something thrown like that on the end zone when you didn't even see any shoving, anything else going on.
Well, it is on Central. And they'll enforce it like they did the last one on the kickoff. Brian Collodi is on to try an extra point and get Central within 14. So Carbo punches it in. Second touchdown of the year on the ground for him. And an enormous drive for Central, and another flag. And the extra point, nope. Thought that was going to be on Central, but it's on Union.
Now, I have been noticing on the punts and on the extra points we've seen and field goals we've seen Hunterdon Central been attempting, Union has had guys throwing their hands out in front of people's faces, and that is a delay of game penalty on Union, because that's actually the right call to make, because doing that is intentionally trying to get someone to jump off sides while you're crossing the line of scrimmage. So good call by the ref stopping them doing that.
I think in referee parlance that's a disconcerting signal, as it's called, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. It sounds official.
Hey, if you say it with certainty, right? Collodi tacks on the extra point. It's 21-7 with 1:37 to go in this third quarter. Joe, I don't think you can underscore enough how big that drive was for Central. After Union gets a score, Central answers right back, keeps this a competitive game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a huge score for Hunterdon Central that puts them back. It's a two-score game, and it's 2 touchdowns. It's not like it's 2 touchdowns and two 2-point conversions. It's not 16. It's a 14-point ball game. And the way this defense has been playing, they have been doing very well at slowing down this Union offense, preventing big plays. And Union has also kind of slowed themselves down with silly penalties, unnecessary things after the play, anything like that. It's unbelievable to think that's what's stopping this Union offense, but they're kind of stopping themselves, along with Hunterdon Central's defense doing a good job. When they get behind the sticks, this Union offense, Hunterdon Central has been doing a good job capitalizing on that momentum and just running with it and being able to stop this Union offense from creating any more big plays.
Well, Union's going to have good field position here. Kickoff is from their own 25 for Central. It is Collodi to kick it away. And he's going to get a holder as well. Vincent Brito will give him a little help as the wind continues to gust and the rain intensifies. Colodey's going to kick it very short in a no man's land and knelt down at the 44-yard line by Omar Ibrahim.
Yeah, smart play. I mean, we've seen that both kickoffs Colodey's had so far. He's kicked little pooch kicks, and honestly, smart play by Ibrahim on that. Just catching it, taking a knee, not risking, because he has one blocker in front of him as a second-line guy. He doesn't have a wedge in front of him, so that's giving almost 3 or 4 guys on Central a free shot for them to come down like with the reckless abandonment, going to basically lay him out on that play. So good play, smart play, because it keeps field position, doesn't risk the ball being put on the ground. So Union's going to get the ball with good field position. Let's see what they do with this drive.
From their own 44. Jaden Stewart in shotgun gives it to Davidson Igbenison, and there he goes up the sideline, and he is gonna go for the touchdown. 56 yards. Igbenison hits the end zone again.
Just like that, it's a 3-score ball game again. Once again, this Union offensive line has been doing. So far, they've been progressing this game more and more. They're tiring out Hunterdon Central's defense. And right there, that was just a good job opening up a big hole for Igbenison to just take it and just sprint by completely untouched for a 56-yard touchdown.
Yeah. Second of the night for Igbenison. Also has a pick on the defensive side. You can see why he's about to go D1. Ramsey LaFawn's extra point is below the crossbar, no good. So it stays a 20-point game. That might have been tipped at the line. Whether it was or not, 27-7. Union answers right back just like that. I imagine that's got to be deflating for Central, giving up another huge run.
Yeah, after you have a drive like that, a good drive. I mean, penalties help you out, but being able to have a consistent drive, good first downs, being able to move the ball, and then actually end up punching the ball in the end zone. That was a big drive for this Hunterdon Central offense, but that is a very deflating play, as you said, because you just feel like you did so much work to get yourself on the scoreboard, off the field, giving your defense a chance, and you gave your defense a decent time to break. You gave them a little bit of a chance to catch a breather, get themselves ready, and then for that play to happen, that's a tough break for the Hunterdon Central defense.
So a 20-point game. LaFond will kick it off. And try to leave it on the tee. That drive took 10 seconds.
A quick 10 seconds.
Blink and you'll miss it. Now LaFond will get it away. Pretty deep kick. Kuhn muffs it, able to get it back. And not a lot of room. He's stacked up inside his 15. Ozarumba was the first one there.
Yeah, great job there by that Union kickoff team, being able to stay in their lanes. Also, they kind of looked a little bit untouched on that play. It looked like the wedge didn't get fully set up, so they weren't able to fan out and be able to actually get a hat on a hat and give Jamal Kuhn a chance to run. So good job by him just to be able to field the ball after a muffed catch and being able to just get the ball, try and gain a little bit of positive yardage back.
Low snap on the ground. Lenteni trying to fall on it. Who has it? Union defenders saying it's theirs, and it is. A low snap. Lenteni had to go down to try to get it. It went off his hands into the arms of a Union defender. And a huge blow for Central.
Yeah, that is just that's a very deflating play for Hunterdon Central to have after you just gave up a big play, you gave up a big touchdown, hoping your offense can go out there, get a drive going, get the ball, chew some clock off, try and get another score up on that board, and then first play from scrimmage after that kickoff being a low snap off the hands, an unfortunate bounce, just good play by the Union defense being able to jump on that and capitalize on the ball being on the ground.
So an extremely short field. Ball on the Central 12. Ashawn Harris right up the middle, hurdles a man, touchdown! Another one-play drive for Union and another 6 points.
That's 2 drives in a row, both one play and just instant touchdown. I mean, that play right there, great individual effort from Sean Harris, but Hunterdon Central's defense did not look set up. They had a defensive end moving. He thought that they were supposed to switch sides, but he didn't. So they had a couple moving parts that are not supposed. You're not really supposed to have moving parts on defense, and so the defensive end wasn't able to get himself set. So it gave an easy block for that tackle, able to wall him off, give him a lane. Good job by the guards collapsing down. Guard and center collapsing down on a double team, being able to move the nose tackle, get to a linebacker, and then Sean Harris just hurdling a safety. Just unbelievable effort by him, being able to punch that one in.
Gonna see him at the Olympics in a couple of years.
Yeah,
plays like that.
Hurdler.
Timeout Union, as they were not set up for the 2-point conversion. 1:10 to go, third quarter, and it's all Farmers. Rain coming down a little harder. I'm looking at the track around the football field, and I'm seeing it get shinier and shinier as more and more rain falls. Field is still in terrific shape.
Yeah, no puddles, no. We have seen limited slipping so far from players, so that's good. But we have seen the effects of the weather on the football, QB center exchanges, handoffs. Like we've seen a couple balls on the ground that really you wouldn't think. Just a simple handoff, a simple play like that, you wouldn't really think of a ball being on the ground like that. But we have seen that more and more, and that's just a big factor for the weather. So I'm surprised we're not seeing more under center offense, but we have been seeing a lot of shotgun, which both of these teams kind of sticking to their guns, sticking to their game plan, not changing it up, not letting the weather affect the way they call this game.
It's interesting, too, because going under center would kind of bring its own set of difficulties, too, with some of the QB center exchange. But it does seem easier than maybe going from the shotgun. But both of these offenses so predicated on shotgun and spread that you're not likely to see that. Union going for 2. They fake it to Harris, trying to throw it back the other way. Stewart bounces off one man, trying to run outside to the edge. He's not going to get there. Out of bounds around the 5, and so the 2-point attempt fails, and it's 33-7.
Yeah, I will say if you're Union on that play, you're not upset by Stewart not trying to force something there, not trying to try and make a great play like running the ball. It's a smart play by him. You're going into the playoffs. You already know you're going into the playoffs if you're Union. So smart play by him. Don't risk injury. Don't risk hurting one of your star players. I mean, he's your starting quarterback. You can't run anything without him. So smart play by him, just taking the ball, just running out of bounds, and just accepting they're not getting that extra 2 points.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, Union comes into tonight 7-1. They've locked up the Big Central, so no need for them necessarily to take unnecessary risks in this game. Although, needless to say, I think some of the history between these two teams and the rivalry that exists, obviously, it's one they want to win. Kick is away in the direction of Kuhn. He's able to field that one cleanly and take it with some room up the middle before he's stacked up just across the 25, and he falls forward to about the 29.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're all going to be sick after tonight, I'm afraid.
So it looks like they walked the ball back to. Oh wait, no, never mind.
No,
I misspoke. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Lenteni in the shotgun. This is his final game at Stewart Field, as it is for Marsiglia and Owen Bill. Lenteni will drop back, tuck it forward, spun down, ball's out. Union's got it, rumbling up the sideline. It's Ozarumba, and he's knocked down inside the 10.
Once again, the weather is just playing a huge factor in this game. Right there, Frankie Lentini doing the right thing, trying to take the ball down, take it down, just try and scramble, get himself some yards, get Hunterdon Central's offense going. Good job by the Union defense being able to get an arm in there and being able to punch the ball out on Lentini. That's just a tough break for this Hunterdon Central offense. They cannot seem to get anything really moving right now, especially with the way the weather's coming down. A couple key fumbles have hurt them.
Rain has intensified since the half, and that's had a real damper on the Central offense. They've just had all sorts of trouble with exchanges and snaps and just holding on to the ball generally, and now the rain, I think, just got a little harder. Yep. Well, here's a little I formation for you. Igbinison up the middle. He's stacked up, trying to drag defenders forward. Got down to about the 5.
For being recruited as a defensive back, he does not go down easy
No.
as a running back. It is taking 4 or 5 guys to bring him down every single time he touches the ball.
Igbinison offers from Tennessee, Rutgers, Ole Miss, Duke, Pittsburgh, Boston College, Cincinnati, Iowa, West Virginia, Notre Dame. List goes on and on. It's got about 25 or so offers. 4-star recruit. And he's having a 5-star night. Igbinison again, right up the middle, lowers the shoulder, touchdown. Third of the night for Davison Igbinison, and it's all Union right now.
That was just a real simple power eye. You're running the ball. You're just trying to that right there. That's a concept where a coach is saying my guys are better than your guys, and even if that statement isn't even true, you just believe in your offensive line to get a big push on this Hunterdon Central defensive line, get a hat on a hat with a fullback going through the formation like that. Just a great play call for Union, especially with the rain coming down. It's coming down like crazy, borderline monsoon-esque, if you will.
Wow.
This is so with the weather, the inclement weather, this is some power football I think we're going to start seeing more and more.
Jaden Stewart in the shotgun. He's going to run it. Bounces it to the outside. He's got the edge. He's got the 2. 41-7 the score. And you're right, Joe. It is a monsoon here at Stewart Field.
Yeah.
I mean, good on these parents and these fans for being here right now. Hope everyone's staying safe at home or around the area.
But, I mean, just looking at the track right now, you're seeing water bouncing off of the track right now. So, starting to see the rain really pick up.
Well, you think about the last couple of months. You had Hurricane Ida, which was a tropical storm by the time it got here, and that was early September. And then you had the rain the other day, which there was flooding up in my neck of the woods up in North Jersey. And then you got this tonight. Just a ton of rain we've been getting.
I know, it's just absurd, and not a single rainstorm has just been like a nice, calm rainstorm. Everything leads to flooding of some sorts now. So.
Yeah, you can't get your garden variety thunderstorm and just call it a day. I think this is worse than your little 15-minute monsoon when you were
yeah, definitely,
a junior.
Definitely worse.
Kick is away. Kuhn able to make the catch at the 10, going towards the sideline. Tackled short of the 20. That's the end of the third quarter. All Union. They drop 26 points in that third quarter. They lead it 41-7 as we head to the fourth here on Hunterdon Central Live. Glad you could be with us. Hope you're all staying dry. Joe Whale and Jimmy Sullivan with you. Just a disclaimer here as we head into the fourth. All the shots that we have been showing you, courtesy of our 2-camera setup, our whole crew is inside. So everybody's safe, everybody's protected, and nobody is having to deal with this. And let me tell you, this is a huge, huge torrential rain that we're seeing here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, if you're playing as a former Hunterdon Central football player, these were the weather games you kind of like, especially as an offensive lineman, because these are the games where it's a ground and pound, nitty-gritty, I'm going to put my hand in the dirt, and you're just going to want to try and push people around in the rain. These are football games you love as an offensive lineman, but especially a big lead for Union right here. Hunterdon Central is going to have to start pushing the ball a little bit more. They're going to have to try and pick up the pace, trying to start throw the ball. This is a horrible football game to try and have a good passing night.
Yeah. And just gripping the ball, I think, at this point, is a challenge, let alone trying to launch it 50 yards down the field. They'll keep it on the ground. Marsiglia back in the game, and he's got a first down. Gain of 14.
All right, there we go. First play from scrimmage that didn't lead in a fumble.
Looks like we got a running clock for the moment. Check on that to confirm, but clock did not stop on that first down. Again, running clock's activated when it's a 5-score game, so we're at 34 points now, 41-7. Well, it's raining straight down in one part of the stadium, sideways in another. Marsiglia gets the handoff, and he is driven back. That's been the theme of tonight with this front seven. They have just done such a good job stacking up the likes of Marsiglia and Carbo. That was Aaron McReynolds on the stop.
Yeah, they've done a great job, but they've kind of, because of the way this weather is, the weather is playing a huge factor. Generally, weather shouldn't play a factor into the way football games are called, but with the way it's raining tonight, it actually is playing a huge factor, especially for defensive play calling for Union. They're able to put 7 or 8 guys in the box and force Hunterdon Central to throw the ball rather than just their general game plan of running.
Marsiglia stumbles forward, got back to the original line of scrimmage plus an additional yard. It'll be 3rd and 9, and the clock continues to roll. Gain of 2 for Marsiglia. 10 minutes to go in the Hunterdon Central season. Big gust of wind comes through before this play. Lentenny going to throw over the middle off the hands of Bill and incomplete.
Yeah, it's just it's a tough break for Hunterdon Central right there with that play. Drew it up well, looked like a good pass, but because the ball is so wet, it's going to be so hard to catch a pass like that, especially anything above the shoulders where you have to try and reach in. You can't really use your body to bring it, to like safely bring it in. So definitely a hard ball for Owen Bill to come down with, but unfortunate play for Hunterdon Central. So let's see if McNally can get off a good punt with the rain coming down like crazy now.
Tyler Malik Ismail back to return the McNally punt. Back at his own 30-yard line. And a timeout taken by Tom Bill and the Red Devils. So that stops the clock at 9:01. Joe, Hunterdon Central falls to 1-8. Assuming this result holds, Union will be 8-1. Central did get that one win earlier in the season against Franklin, a game you and I did. But what do you think this team takes away from this season that they're going to look to improve and try to post a little better record next year?
Well, I think it's a young team. Like,
sure.
You have a couple key players are seniors. Marsiglia, Lentenny, and Owen Bill are obviously they're 3 big seniors that you're losing this season. But you're going to be gaining experience for these younger guys. You return a bunch of key players for next season. Get ready for next year. Be able to work out all together. Be able to build the culture up a little bit more, and hopefully for Hunterdon Central they can have better results next year. But I think this is a young team. The way the offensive line has progressed, I think they've improved a lot since week 1.
McNally kicks it away high, not very deep. And Malik Ismail will let it bounce at the 36. Just want to clarify something quickly. We were talking about this being the last game of Hunterdon Central's season. That's correct in terms of the regular season, but there may be a consolation game next week. Again, that'll all be figured out when the dust settles, but there may be a consolation game next week, so I apologize for the confusion. As there's a drive. No, I'm just kidding. 36-yard line is the spot. Clock running. Inside of 8.5 minutes to go. And looks like we might be seeing some of the second stringers in there for Union. Get all that for you in a moment. This is a run up the middle by Elijah Stewart, and he's stacked up for a loss. Look like Casey McDowell is in there at quarterback. It's number 13 for Union. So they understandably Head coach Lou Grasso not taking any chances with this big lead.
Yeah, it looks like Hunterdon Central is also putting in some younger guys, getting some younger guys more game experience, and this will actually, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, 7 minutes to go, but as a junior or sophomore in high school, playing in one varsity game can really help you get used to that game speed, get ready to go.
Running that one outside. Looks like it's Cordell Hinton. Taking that one outside. So we close in on 7 minutes to go. Again, a running clock here in the fourth quarter after that last Union touchdown. Some of the second stringers in for Central as well, as you mentioned, Joe. Dell will drop back. He'll hand this one off to Stewart around the edge, and he's got a first down. And a flag comes out at the end of the play. We'll see what the call is here. That stops the clock at 6:25. It'll be a hold on Union, so that play goes off the board. And no, we got a personal foul on Central after the play. So offsetting penalties. And we'll do it all again.
Oh, looks like they're
now they're going to put it at the 46. Okay.
Looks like it was after the play of personal foul, so it's going to be enforced, not offsetting.
Casey McDowell, the backup quarterback, just a sophomore. He'll probably be taking the reins next year, unless somebody else comes into the program. There's a run outside. That time it's Hinton, and he got a couple. Jacob Souse made the stop for Central. There's a gain of 3, so it's 2nd and 7. For the big Central champs. Still some students here for Central supporting the seniors, supporting the team. Good to see, even in this weather. Stewart up the middle. Now to the outside. And he got about 4. Be 3rd down and short.
Looks like we're kind of getting a preview of potentially next year's game with
Yeah.
with the younger kids playing for both teams. Both got guys that are obviously sophomores and juniors, trying to just get them more game experience, get them ready to play for next year. Which honestly, it's a good thing for both teams. This game has been put too far out of reach, so no reason to even play guys that could potentially get injured, especially for Union's sake, where you got the playoffs coming up for you, so you got a lot going for your team. No reason to play your starters and risk injury.
Another run up the middle and another first down. Hitting inside the 40. So Union now 4 straight games over 40 points. 49, 42, 42, and now tonight 41. Lou Grasso's team, well, they're looking really good going into the playoffs.
Yeah, they look like they're firing on all cylinders. Every aspect of their game tonight worked for them. I mean, we didn't really see them throwing the ball much, but we saw their two-headed dragon, if you will, of running backs.
Thunder and lightning.
Yeah, exactly. Both two guys that can take it to the house any single snap. Doesn't matter how simple of a play call it may be. So we saw saw how powerful this offense can be, and then an added element of throwing the ball would really help them going into next week.
McDowell will keep it himself. Lowers the shoulder to stay in bounds and picks up 5. So Hunterdon Central will be 1-8 on the season. This team with a fair amount to replace on the offensive side. Going to need a new quarterback, new number 1 receiver, new starting running back, although Michael Carbo has been impressive. Is enough coming back, you think? Cole Gray, Devin Falvo, Joey Valentino, Trevor Fish. Probably take a bigger role next year. As that'll be a run up the middle for a couple of yards. And some sauce at the end of the play. Down to the 31.
Yeah, definitely. Going into next year, obviously you're going to miss those key players, but they have a good base of guys that got a lot of playing time this year, guys that saw the field and actually were key players. They contributed every single game, so you're returning those guys, and that really helps. I mean, I can say my junior year, we were a very young team. We had a lot of juniors that played, and playing a varsity level, even if your team doesn't end up that good, just having that experience of playing as a junior on varsity. Once you get to that senior year, you're prepared for it, you know what to expect, and you're bigger, stronger, and more ready to go going into next season.
Run up the middle, first down and more. Tough running and down inside the 20. That was Stewart. Elijah Stewart getting some run at the end of this one. Clock ticks down, 2 minutes to go. Cheerleaders, the dance team, the marching band all on the field ready to send off Central's seniors. As Stewart gets tied up with a few. That was Michael Souse making the tackle. On behalf of our entire crew, just want to thank everyone for tuning in all season to Hunterdon Central Football on HCTV Live. Again, there may be a consolation game next week. We'll check back on that. See if there is one. And if there is, we'll bring it to you. That's Cordell Hinton. Down to about the 10. And we got flags on the play. Just a quick correction. We will not have that consolation game. So, again, apologies for the confusion.
Well, we won't be covering it.
We won't be covering
but they're most
we'll be
likely,
interested.
We'll be interested, and there most likely will be a game played for Hunterdon Central to finish out their season.
It's an unsportsmanlike conduct on Central. Tonight we've seen many flags. I lost count.
I don't think I've ever seen this many unsportsmanlike conduct penalties ever called in my life.
Well, you know, the NFL, they're really tightening that up. I don't know if you've been watching. You know, you get in a guy's face at all, and it's unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, it's a taunting penalty now. Everything's taunting.
Cordell Hinton, touchdown. The sophomore gets in, and that further expands the lead for Union.
I mean, good touchdown, but I don't get scoring a touchdown up 34 points going into, less than a minute to go. Why not just kneel the ball out, just run the clock out? I understand you're trying to get your younger guys playing time. You're trying to get them used to playing at a varsity level. But I don't see the point of scoring like that and playing or scoring a touchdown like that.
Well, if you thought that went over well, they're going for 2.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not a coach, so they don't have to listen to any words I say. So.
They are getting the young guys experience. I think that's the biggest thing. It's much more so than running up the score. They'll toss it to Stewart around the edge, and he is in. So it's 49-7. And again, mostly window dressing at this point, but get an extra rep for these young players. Stewart, a junior, Hinton, a sophomore. They'll be running the rushing attack next year. Sean Harris, Davison Igbinison, Loukenzie Jules, who we saw get ejected, Matthew Nazir, Jaden Stewart. They're all gone, as is 80% of the offensive line next year.
Yeah, definitely going to be a different Union team next year than what we saw tonight, as we're seeing multiple umbrellas getting.
And one gentleman in front of us is having a devil of a time with his umbrella.
He is fighting a losing battle against his umbrella. But yeah, I think this is going to be a very different Union team we're going to see next year. I don't think it's going to be nearly as explosive as it is this year. I think this year Union just has unbelievable athletes, and they always field a very well-coached football team. You can't say that any more than we have. They always come out ready to play. They never seem like they're flat coming out of a game. So very well coached, but I think it's definitely going to be a different makeup. Definitely less explosive plays, more methodical drives, rather than 65-yard touchdowns every single drive.
Yeah, we saw so many big plays tonight from this offense. Lou Grasso will be 59-35 in his 9 years at Union. There's a high, short kick. Owen Bill with the fair catch at his own 23. And that sends the clock back running. They do not need to run another play. And I'm not sure they're going to.
Yeah, it looks like Hunterdon Central's just going to line it up. No need to run another play, so looks like this game is over.
Down to 15 seconds. Players walking off the field. For the last time in the regular season, at least on senior night. And it was all Union tonight. 49-7 the final. The Farmers finished the regular season at 8-1. And they move towards the playoffs. Players shaking hands at midfield. Hunterdon Central season finishes at 1-8. "17 seniors on the Hunterdon Central side. Just want to shout them out real quick before we hop off. We have Adam Abalata, Owen Bill, Vincent Brito, Amir El-Menshawi, Aaron Importico, Jason Kent, Matthew Krylik, Frankie Lenteni, Nick Lewis, Julio Marsiglia, Noah Miller, Isaiah Robinson, Gavin Stager, and Kendall Williams II. Those are the 17 seniors on the Hunterdon Central side who were honored tonight and may have just played their last game here at Stewart Field.
Yep, definitely a tough night to lose on your senior night, but I mean, congratulations to them. I mean, 4 years of hard work, especially with COVID in the middle. It kind of threw a wrench into the way their football career should have went in Hunterdon Central. So definitely a tough way to go out, but congratulations to them. Congratulations to their family on a great career. I mean, football, it's the best sport known to man, in my opinion.
I overheard a conversation before. I'm not sure who it was talking, but they said no family is like the football family, and that absolutely holds true. So we're going to head off. For my partner, Joe Whalen, and our entire HCTV crew, I'm Jimmy Sullivan. Thank you so much for tuning in all season long to Hunterdon Central football. Stay tuned throughout the winter. We'll have a bevy of winter sports for you on HCTV. Stick around for that. Until then, so long and good night.